The man ignored the legendary spear displayed in front of him. Instead, he picked up a dusty greatsword from the corner. It wasn't that he didn't want the spear. That greatsword had been his companion during the 10 years he was trapped inside the game. Once it tasted blood, 2 hidden effects would awaken. In an instant, it could transform into a divine weapon capable of crushing the spear. With it, Baek Yuhyan's strength would surge dramatically. He would never again come within a single move of being killed by Kim Ha-na. What he didn't know was that a system loophole had trapped him in the game for 10 years, turning him into a subject of the Transcender Project. One by one, the test subjects died. The last survivor, Baek Yuhyan, was forcibly turned into something beyond human. Yet the brutal experiments left scars that would never fade. Electric torture, chemical injections, and body modification. Thousands of victims suffered the same fate. As subject number 62, Baek Yuhyan was already on the verge of collapse. Almost everyone around him had died, and he feared becoming the last survivor. BZZT, the crackling current pushed Suwa to the brink of death. Through tears, she said goodbye to Baek Yuhyan. She simply couldn't endure it anymore, and Baek Yuhyan could do nothing to save her. Soon after, another companion fell. His final wish was for Baek Yuhyan to survive. At first, Baek Yuhyan believed this was just a game, an extremely realistic one he would soon log out of. But as time passed, despair settled in. This place had become his new reality. Reverse Planet was a virtual reality game. It had dominated the global game rankings for years. Themes like dimensional gates, supernatural powers, and invasion wars made it wildly popular. Baek Yuhyan logged into the game because a friend insisted he try it. He never imagined it would become a one-way road. Baek Yuhyan swore he would survive and take revenge. So he planned an escape with the remaining survivors. After countless hardships, they finally reached the exit. But what awaited them was not freedom, but a far stronger gatekeeper. The man guarding the exit wore a twisted smile, bloodlust written all over his face, declaring that this place would be their grave. The group never expected such an ending, but they refused to die quietly and quickly formed a battle plan. The armed fighters took the front line, while Baek Yuhyan supported from the rear. To the gatekeeper, they were nothing but fools rushing toward death. The battle was brutal. Everyone fell. In the end, Baek Yuhyan strangled the man to death with his bare hands. Baek Yuhyan collapsed in tears. Then something strange happened. Black shadows crawled out from the bodies of his fallen companions. Each one carried fury and resentment. And in that chaos, Baek Yuhyan escaped the facility. 10 years passed in a blur, and Baek Yuhyan never stopped killing. To avenge those he loved, he harvested life after life. The security guards were completely terrified. They kept firing until their gun barrels smoked, and one of them even tried to run. But Baek Yuhyan had no intention of letting him escape. Still, this endless revenge had long since worn him down. Everyone kept urging him to keep killing, and Baek Yuhyan was already on the edge of collapse. How long was he supposed to live like this? Was he meant to keep living this way until the day he died? Then suddenly, a window popped up before his eyes. He had waited more than 10 years for this exact moment. Special mission, bug fix, eliminate the director of the Transcender Project. Reward, opportunity to return to the original world. Baek Yuhyan stared at the mission in disbelief. At last a way out. The scene shifted. A blond man trembled as he knelt on the ground. Why are you doing this? You are only one step away from glory. Why? That man was the director of the Transcender Project. His bodyguards already lay scattered across the floor. Kim Young-jun grabbed him by the collar. You're asking why we did this? Are you seriously playing dumb right now? The director violently slapped his hand away. Shut your mouth, subject number 81. I'm not talking to trash like you. He turned his gaze to Baek Yuhyan. Mr. Baek Yuhyan, you stepped into the realm of transcendence with a mortal body. You are a true superhuman. You are the greatest masterpiece of the Transcender Project. Anything you desire, I will offer it to you. You are on a completely different level from these fools. White mist slowly materialized in Baek Yuhyan's hand. His answer was clear. He didn't need it. Panic flashed across the director's face. Wait, there's more. You foolish bastard. You think killing me will end everything? The organization will never forgive anyone who opposes us. Not just you, your family, your relatives, your colleagues. We will destroy all of them. But Baek Yuhyan had come here to kill him anyway. Those threats meant absolutely nothing. Kim Young-jun clicked his tongue in annoyance. Blood had splattered all over him, and he still had questions for the director. But Baek Yuhyan had already killed the bastard. What he didn't realize was that Baek Yuhyan hadn't heard a single word. His eyes were deadlocked on the floating window. Special mission complete. Bug fix successful. All special missions cleared. Promised reward ready for distribution. Return to the original world? Baek Yu-hyen's trembling finger moved toward yes, at last. He could break free from all this. But suddenly countless voices echoed in his mind. Yu-hyen, where are you going? Have you forgotten us? Those remaining bastards, please kill them all. Revenge, revenge, exact a cruel revenge. But Baek Yu-hyen felt he had done enough, that he was truly exhausted. Just then, Kim Young-joon slapped his shoulder. Hey, Baek Yu-hyen, what are you spacing out for? Baek Yu-hyen answered blankly. I'm going back to my original world now. Kim Young-joon blinked in total confusion. Original world? What kind of bullshit are you spouting? Haven't you belonged here from the very beginning? Please tell the others for me. Tell them I'm sorry. Baek Yu-hyen still pressed yes in the end. When Baek Yu-hyen opened his eyes again, he found himself lying sideways on a bed. It was his room. Somehow, he had actually come back. He checked his phone and froze. The date was the exact same day he had been dragged into the game, which meant the 10 years he spent in that hellhole never passed here. Looking into the mirror, the scars and hardened muscles were gone. That it all felt like a fleeting dream. But the memories etched into his mind were painfully real. Sua's dying despair. The director's threats. Those things could never have been a dream. If it was just a dream, then why were the sensations and memories so vivid? The 10 years Baek Yu-hyen spent in that world were undeniably real. Just then, his phone rang. The caller ID showed Young Na-yeon. The name felt strangely, inexplicably familiar. The moment he answered, a furious voice exploded through the speaker. Hey, Baek Yu-hyen, why aren't you replying to my messages? Don't tell me you forgot our date. Baek Yu-hyen blinked in confusion. Date? The voice on the other end continued. Of course, we agreed to meet tonight. I'm sending you the address. Hurry up and get over here. I'm hanging up. Only then did Baek Yu-hyen finally remember. Young Na-yeon was his closest classmate in his major, and also the main culprit who kept pushing him to play Reverse Planet. If she hadn't begged him non-stop, he would never have touched that damn game. For a moment, Baek Yu-hyen even wondered if Young Na-yeon had known everything from the start. But he quickly dismissed the thought. For now, he should just go see her and figure things out. The moment he walked into the restaurant, Young Na-yeon waved excitedly. Over here, here! She smiled brightly. Baek Yu-hyen, long time no see. First time meeting since the break, right? Want to grab a drink? Baek Yu-hyen shook his head. The weather's pretty gloomy today, I'll pass. But the real reason was simple. With his current mental state, if he got drunk, even he had no idea what kind of monster he might unleash. Young Na-yeon frowned in confusion. What's wrong with you today? Fine, let's just eat then. Sizzle. Pork belly popped and hissed on the grill. For broke college students like them, it was already a luxury dinner. Young Na-yeon asked casually, So, did you play Reverse Planet? Didn't you say you'd at least run through the tutorial? Baek Yu-hyen thought to himself, of all the damn things to bring up. He answered out loud. I made my character and watched the opening cinematic. Inside, he was sneering coldly, and right after that, I got dragged straight to hell. Youngnan only heard opening cinematic and frowned in dissatisfaction. What the hell, Baek Yu-hyen? That's basically the same as not playing. Baek Yu-hyen felt the urge to murder her. The same as not playing? Speaking of which, whose fault was it that he spent 10 years surviving in hell? If it wasn't for her. But Young Na-yeon was already bubbling with excitement. I'm seriously looking forward to it. You said you'd be a regular guest on my stream. You used to be an arena ranking monster, right? If you show even half that skill, my tiny channel will blow up. Baek Yu-hyen blinked. Stream? Right. She did mention doing game streams. Now he finally understood why she kept clinging to him and insisting they play together. But he didn't remember ever promising anything like that. Young Na-yeon laughed awkwardly. Why, you said you'd show up at least once, didn't you? At that moment, Baek Yu-hyen felt a real sense of being back for the first time. After getting home, Baek Yu-hyen immediately started digging online. The development company behind Reverse Planet was based in Silicon Valley, San Francisco, USA. But he soon let out a bitter sigh. Even if he showed up at their headquarters, what could he do? If he claimed a game teleported him to another world, he'd just be locked up as a lunatic. And the terrifying part was, if all of this was truly connected to them, his current actions were no different from sheep walking into a tiger's den if he provoked them recklessly. Who knew what kind of retaliation he'd face? He didn't even know what the hell he was doing anymore. Since he had already escaped that hell, why was he still investigating this? Perhaps the best move was to just forget everything that happened over there. After all, this was his original world. From that day on, Baek Yu-hyen started attending school normally. He tried hard to live an ordinary life. As a student, he should just properly enjoy his daily campus life. But had he really returned? A coiling black shadow suddenly surfaced behind him, whispering right against his ear, "Is this kind of life your reality?" He never expected that he had actually brought them back with him. He spun around violently, only to find his classmates still quietly studying. But the very next second, he saw everyone transform into black silhouettes, the world glitching out of place. The voices of those shadows drilled into his mind once again. "Avenge us. Revenge. A brutal revenge. This isn't where you belong. Go kill those bastards." Baek Yu-hyan bolted out of the classroom. His classmates had no idea what kind of crazy spell he was under. Right after, a hand slapped onto his shoulder. "Baek Yu-hyan, are you okay?" Startled, Baek Yu-hyan grabbed that hand on pure reflex. Using the momentum, he yanked it forward. In the next blink, his other fist launched a vicious strike, just like he was fighting a monster. The classmate froze in sheer terror. "What the hell are you doing?" That shout snapped him back to reality. He hurriedly clenched his own trembling hand. Sorry. His abnormal behavior didn't go unnoticed by the other students. A chilling fear gripped Baek Yu-hyan's heart. Right now, he just wanted to be left alone in peace. But those voices echoed once more, "Baek Yu-hyan, enough, come back. Baek Yu-hyan, have you forgotten us? You have to avenge us." Just then, Young-mi-yeon suddenly appeared beside him. She furrowed her brows, looking at him. "Baek Yu-hyan, you look absolutely haggard that you've been spacing out lately. What happened?" Not wanting her to worry, Baek Yu-hyan put up a tough front. "It's nothing." Knowing he didn't want to talk, Young-mi-yeon didn't press the issue, merely letting out a soft sigh. "All right, if you say so, I won't pry. But if something really is going on, remember to tell your nuna that I'll help you." Hearing those words, Baek Yu-hyan finally felt a strange sense of relief. Fine. He would just go back in and see for himself. The restless spirits had followed him here. If this nightmare wouldn't end until they were satisfied, then he had no choice but to see it through. Baek Yu-hyan stared at the game capsule in front of him. Without hesitating, he lay down inside, because he knew if this dragged on any longer, this world would become no different from that hellhole. This time, he was going to settle everything for good. A mechanical voice suddenly echoed, "Welcome to Reverse Planet." Baek Yu-hyan recognized the location instantly. It was the waiting room of the research facility. Had he entered the game world directly? After all, in the other timeline, it was impossible for him to ever return to the facility. But he couldn't figure out why he couldn't return to that specific world instead. He had finally braced himself to return to that hell. Was there some other hidden requirement? Just then, a system window popped up. Frowny face confirm current character appearance. Baek Yu-hyan thought to himself, maybe I need to clear the tutorial first. Perhaps finishing it would open the path back. So he immediately set combat assist to 0. After all, in that other world, he had crushed everything in his path without a single ounce of assistance anyway. Next was selecting the first ability core element in Reverse Planet. Abilities could be reset at any time. The system required players to first pick a core element, then continuously strengthen their character through various sub-elements, designing their power from the ground up. The complete chain combination of core and sub-elements was called a build. Because the sheer number of elements was so massive, professional leagues even had specialists dedicated entirely to theory crafting them, known as build architects. And the exact build that once earned Baek Yu-hyan the title of superhuman was this very one core element selected. Immediately after, a broadcast voice echoed, "Subject number 48." Baek Yu-hyan understood instantly. The game completely skipped the excruciating process leading up to awakening, which made perfect sense to him. After all, no one would willingly pay to relive that kind of torture in a game, unless they were total masochist. Without hesitating, Baek Yu-hyan got ready to head inside and see for himself. The moment he stepped through the door, he froze. He would recognize that thing, even if it were burned to ash. Adonal, a killing machine forged to prevent the awakened subject of the Transcender Project from seeking revenge, and the very culprit that had slaughtered countless test subjects. A system window popped up. Frowny face tutorial mission 01. Eliminate Adonal. Use your manifested abilities to fight Adonal. Judging by its crude structure, it was only an early prototype, but the mere sight of it dragged Baek Yu-hyan back into nauseating memories. Yu-hyan Hyung, save me, save me. The number of test subjects that had died by its hands was incalculable. Swoosh! In the next instant, it teleported, lunging straight at Baek Yu-hyan. Baek Yu-hyan cracked his knuckles. Whether in that hell or this one, it was always the same old shit. The researchers never changed. They always found new ways to piss him off. He casually tilted his head, letting Adonal's brutal punch slip right past him. But Adonal's assault came in relentless waves. Its sole directive was to eradicate anyone who stepped into this room. No matter how vicious the attacks were, Baek Yu-hyan dodged them effortlessly. Catching a fatal opening, Baek Yu-hyan slammed his palms straight into its chest. The final version of this thing was a total nightmare, since it could even wield abilities. But this one, it was just an outdated piece of trash. Boom! That single strike blasted the machine into scrap metal. The experiment ended right there. Baek Yu-hyan's current performance was on a completely different dimension compared to the aptitude of ordinary test subjects. Mission complete. Adenal eliminated. Baek Yu-hyan was already itching to tear into the next experiment. Beep! Beep! Right then, a piercing alarm shattered the silence. A broadcast echoed through the facility. To all innocent victims trapped inside the research lab, escape immediately. Run outside with everything you've got. The voice felt oddly familiar to Baek Yu-hyan. IT was the standard government intervention broadcast. Why the hell were those bureaucratic bastards here? A system window popped up, frowny face, tutorial mission 02. Escape the laboratory, find a way out, and reach the external zone. Boom! The next second, an explosion thundered right above his head, and Baek Yu-hyan knew he had to get the hell out of there first. He sprinted forward like a bat out of hell. When the blast finally died down, the corridor was completely wrecked. Shattered mechanical limbs and scrap metal from Adenal were scattered everywhere. Baek Yu-hyan spotted a man slumped against the wall. The emblem of the Interdimensional Management Bureau was on his clothing. So he wasn't an enemy. The man rasped, "You're a victim, aren't you? If you made it here, you're trying to escape. Right? Good, that I might be able to help." He forced open something resembling a weapon locker. "Take whatever weapon you want from here. And take this once you're outside. Use it to send a radio signal. The Bureau will come pick you up." The moment those words left his mouth, the man took his last breath and died. Baek Yu-hyan crouched there, lost in thought. He suspected this was just a scripted cutscene strictly for the game's storyline. What he didn't notice, however, was that another Adenal had silently materialized right behind him. In the end, Baek Yu-hyan chose a wicked-looking chain-linked scythe. But his mood was absolutely foul. He still had no fucking clue what was actually going on. Meanwhile, a game streamer named Kong Soil also logged into Reverse Planet. Putting on its Thunder act, she huffed, "Me, playing Reverse Planet, the nation's mainstream game? My niche gamer pride is crying, literally sobbing right now." Her live chat was completely ruthless. At least she knows she's a niche hipster. You literally picked this mainstream game yourself, bro. First time playing a national masterpiece and she's acting like this. I don't get it. Did someone hold a knife to your throat and force you to play this as punishment? Kong Soil was so annoyed she nearly popped a vein. "This penalty wasn't even my idea. You guys just decided it on your own. Okay. But find out a promise is a promise. I spoil my viewers too much. I'm the kind of streamer who never breaks a deal with chat." But chat instantly went for the throat. "How many times have you lied about playing a real popular game next? Last time you said mainstream too, and then pulled out another obscure indie title. Hey, don't roast her too hard. If she quits, who's gonna stream these weird niche games for us?" To her credit, Kong Soil had thick skin and didn't actually lose her temper. She just kept her own rhythm. "Alright then, I'm paying my penalty for failing the clear challenge. Let's take a little taste of Reverse Planet." The viewers weren't stupid. They immediately knew she was pivoting the topic. New players had to go through the setup phase. She kept her real-life appearance, and for her ability, she picked something flashy and cool: flames. Finally, it was time to set the combat assist percentage. The system kindly explained. Combat Assist was a comprehensive system providing full support through posture correction, motion guidance, and ability usage calibration. The higher the percentage, the more automated help the player received, and the ratio could be fully customized. Chat immediately started feeding her terrible ideas. "This has to be 0%. No assist tutorial. GKD, hurry up. 0%, let's go, go, go. Elmeo, don't tell me you're chickening out. Mom, when I grow up, I'm gonna play on 0% assist, Mom." But Kong Soil wasn't an idiot. She seriously pondered it. Is clearing the tutorial with 0 assist actually possible? She had done her homework beforehand. Globally, the percentage of players who ran the game with 0% assist was basically 0. Sure, her mechanics were pretty solid from grinding hardcore niche games. But people said playing Reverse Planet without assist felt like trying to control a third hand that suddenly sprouted from your body. She figured it was impossible. These viewers just wanted to watch her embarrass herself. She immediately switched to EGO mode. Aw, come on guys, going no assist is a little too. But the very next second, a system mission popped up, frowny face, clear the tutorial with 0% combat assist. Reward upon completion, 500,000 KRW. Her face did a complete 180. You could practically see the dollar signs in her eyes as she shamelessly declared, "Taking on impossible challenges is what makes someone a true streamer." Chat was merciless. LMAO, the mission pops up and she switches up instantly. Uter level stance change right there. The ghost of capitalism has possessed her. Pumped full of adrenaline, Kong Soil announced with burning passion, "Until I clear this tutorial, I'm strictly staying in no assist mode." But she regretted it almost immediately. Guys, am I seriously making a mistake here? The result? She got instantly one-shot by Adnal right out of the gate. She was so frustrated she almost cried. There were zero instructions, the game just threw her straight into a fight, and the boss even pulled a dirty sneak attack. Some viewers try to console her. Surviving for 2 minutes is already pretty impressive. Plenty of pro players have lost to it too. Fighting Adnal on 0% assist with only one core element? Of course it's brutal. Another chimed in, "Honestly, that mission wasn't even designed for players to win." But Kong Soil didn't lose heart. "I already looted the radio and the weapon as long as I escape. That counts as clearing it, right?" Just then, she received tutorial mission 02. Escape the laboratory. The system notified her that it was auto-matching a party. Matchmaking in progress. Recommended. 4-person party. Hope lit up in her eyes. Matching up is great. If I clear it with my match teammates, it still counts as finishing the mission. Chat started yapping again. Wow, that's literally just getting carried. LOL, grabbing sugar daddy's leg is totally a valid strat. If you actually knew how this tutorial matchmaking worked, you wouldn't be saying that. Spoiler alert, you won't match with anyone.rip. Those two viewers must have been prophets, because the system instantly popped up frowny face, matchmaking failed. Kong Soil was dumbfounded. How is it failing to find a match? Reverse Planet is a massive national game. There should be tons of players. System prompt frowny face initiating expanded party matchmaking search. Expanded search will now include missions currently in progress. Chat immediately piled on. "See? Told you it wouldn't work." But why though? I don't get it. Matchmaking strictly pairs people with the exact same combat assist percentage. What kind of lunatic runs the tutorial on 0 assist? Wait a minute. Doesn't that mean whoever she matches with is also playing on 0 assist? LMAO, so it's a full no assist squad. That's not getting carried. That's dragging a dead weight. If a 0% assist team actually clears this, I'll bow down. Kong Soil was already heavily contemplating canceling the mission. But then, a miracle happened in the very next second frowny face party, matchmaking successful. She let out a shriek and frantically spammed the cancel button like a madwoman. But it was too late. Frowny face joining tutorial mission in progress. Escape the laboratory. I'm so doomed. However, the moment she arrived at the mission zone, she was utterly paralyzed by the sight before her. The floor was littered with the mangled, scattered remains of Adnal units. She even wondered if her eyes were playing tricks on her. Guys, I don't think this is a joke. Her stream chat also lost its mind. What the hell is going on? Wait, is this real? A no-assist squad actually did this? Seriously, this is pure insanity. Is this a pro player on a smurf account? Even a pro player couldn't pull this off in the tutorial with 0% assist. But the most shocking part was that these machines weren't destroyed by firearms. 0 combat assist, not a single gun used, and yet this mountain of Adnal units have been slaughtered. Kong Soil was overjoyed. This is an absolute free carry. I need to find this god tier player right now. Just then, Yahello finished ripping apart a few more Adnal units. Suddenly, his sharp gaze snapped toward a specific direction. Kong Soil had been stealthily creeping closer like a thief. Excuse me, the person here." Before she could even finish her sentence, a blood-soaked blade was pressed right between her eyes. Kong Soil froze in sheer terror. The blade was a mere 0.01 centimeters from slicing her open. The next second, she practically folded into herself in fear, shrieking, "H, help me!" Realizing she wasn't a hostile target, Yahello withdrew his weapon. "Sorry, my mistake." As he turned to walk away, Kong Soil hastily called out to stop him. "Wait, it looks like we got matched into the same party. If it's okay with you, can we stick together?" Without even waiting for Yahello's answer, she began tailing him. "My name is Kong Soil. I'm a solo streamer, and I'm broadcasting live right now. Do you mind being on camera? I've turned on privacy protection mode, so your face will absolutely be blurred out." Hearing this, Yahello abruptly stopped in his tracks. Kong Soil's heart leaped in her throat, thinking she had pissed him off. But a second later, she realized the real reason. Enemies had arrived. The armed men roared. "It's an escape test subject. Kill them all." We don't need them alive. Rat-a-tat-tat. A hail of gunfire erupted instantly. Kong Soil squatted on the ground, clutching her head in terror. Gaia, why is the tutorial difficulty so insane? But what she witnessed next would be burned in her memory forever. Baek Yu-hyen was physically dodging the barrage of bullets with absurd, logic-defying movements, moving at a speed that made absolutely no sense. The chain-linked scythe in his hands became an instrument of absolute carnage. A man wielding a cold weapon was slaughtering a squad armed with assault rifles that completely defied the laws of reality. Chat went nuclear. WHOA, what the fuck is that thing? Chain-scythe Jenny? Kong Soil couldn't even care about her pride anymore. Hiding behind cover, she humbly asked, I'm not really familiar with Reverse Planet, but his mechanics are completely abnormal, right? Chat answered immediately. How the hell is he even wielding that weapon with 0 assist? Yeah, it's completely abnormal. What in God's name am I even watching right now? Someone in chat asked, does anyone know what ability that monster player is using? His eyes just turned completely white. Looking at the trajectory of that chain-linked scythe, is it wind? No. If it were wind, the visual effects would be way more obvious. Doesn't look like telekinesis either. I have no idea what it is, but if I ran into a guy like that in PvP, I'm confident I'd get farmed like a dog. Someone immediately dropped the lore. The only core element that changes your eye color to drastically boost your physical stats is Perfect Existence. Kong Soil looked surprised. Perfect Existence? Isn't that the trash pick that completely locks you out of using abilities? That's why everyone says it's garbage and tells people not to pick it. Chat replied, exactly, that's why we're saying we don't get it. Perfect Existence was one of the many core elements in Reverse Planet. It provided a massive boost to physical capabilities and ability resistance. But the heavy cost was the complete inability to use any active ability skills. Because of this crippling drawback, it was universally treated by players as a legendary tier garbage core. On the Reverse Time forum, Perfect Existence was permanently ranked number 1 on the auto blacklist core element tier list. Honestly, I have no idea why the devs even released this trash core, that the cannot use abilities part tells you everything you need to know, that if someone in your party locks this in, just quit the party and say GG. Kong Soil felt the logic was sound. It truly was too abnormal. In a game heavily built around supernatural abilities, who would choose a build that couldn't even use them? Some veterans even claimed that in all their time playing Reverse Planet, they had never seen a single person pick Perfect Existence instead of course. Some curious players had tried it, only to scream in frustration and delete their characters. Plus, Perfect Existence had a very distinct visual tell. The user's eyes would turn stark white. Chat chimed in again, but in 0 assist mode, purely boosting your physical stats might actually turn out to be an advantage. Kong Soil thought to herself, true, without combat assist, precisely aiming and casting abilities is a nightmare. Simply abandoning them to dump all points into raw physical stats could actually be a viable strategy. Still, she couldn't wrap her head around it. Baek Yu-hyen should currently only be level 1. How on earth could he execute movements like that? Just what exactly was this guy's background? She had never seen a man this insanely savage before. He was carving through entire squads with nothing but a chain-link scythe. He looked like the Grim Reaper incarnate. Yet, the restless spirits clinging to him felt it wasn't enough. Yu-hyen, it's not enough, be more cruel with your revenge. Just this level of slaughter won't satisfy me. Just then, a surviving enemy quietly emerged from shadows. A gun muzzle instantly locked on a Baek Yu-hyen's back. Kong Soil lunged forward, throwing herself in front of Baek Yu-hyen, and pulled the trigger. Pew pew pew. 3 precise shots cleanly interrupted the ambusher. Trembling with rage, the ambusher gasped. Just one mistake. Even as Kong Soil hit the ground, she fired one final shot. The ambusher instantly dropped dead. Not forgetting to strike a pose, Kong Soil did the classic move of blowing the smoke off the barrel of her gun. Her live chat instantly turned into a fan club. Whoa, seriously, that was cool as hell. I'm telling you, this girl's aim is actually cracked. Duh, if you play hardcore niche games, your aim naturally has to be good. If you didn't know better, you'd think she killed all of them. Isn't she just stealing kills? Oh, kick the kill stealer out. Kick the kill stealer out. At that moment, Kong Soil turned to look at Baek Yu-hyen. How was that? I helped out at least a little bit, right? Wow, so she was just showing off. Suddenly, a fragment of a memory flashed through Baek Yu-hyen's mind. The silhouette of a girl surfaced. Yu-hyen Hyung, radiating a soft light. The girl ran toward him as he stood in the abyss of his own soul. But right then, Kong Soil interrupted his thoughts. Driver bro. Baek Yu-hyen blinked at the moniker. What kind of ridiculous nickname is that? Flustered, Kong Soil quickly explained, you're not mad, right? I obviously know you did all the heavy lifting, driver bro, that I was just piggybacking a little. Baek Yu-hyan replied calmly, no, you really did help. Chat got even rowdier. This driver bro is way too nice that he's actually carrying a kill stealer this generously. He's a saint. Even though privacy mode hides his face, I just get the feeling he's super handsome. Don't you guys think his voice is incredibly smooth too? I know it's probably altered by a voice changer, but still, seeing Baek Yu-hyan be so magnanimous, Kong Soil immediately brightened up. Really? Then can we clear the rest of the tutorial mission together? I'll do absolutely everything I can to help. Baek Yu-hyan agreed without hesitation. Driver bro. Baek Yu-hyan couldn't stand it anymore. Just call me Baek Yu-hyan. Oh, okay, Mr. Yu-hyan. Kong Soil guessed it might be his real name, since the system probably couldn't censor that. But she still couldn't hold back the burning question in her mind. If you don't mind me asking, did you choose perfect existence as your starting core element? Baek Yu-hyan admitted it outright. After all, he had nothing to hide. Chat exploded again. Whoa, that actually works? The perfect existence skill needs a serious reevaluation. Reevaluation, I asked. It's still a garbage build, and that's not going to change. The guy above is right. Do you really think a normal person could use it like driver bro? Kong Soil looked at him with sheer disbelief, mixed with a heavy dose of envy. Wow. How are you dodging bullets without any abilities? What other games do you normally play? Baek Yu-hyan replied, none that I don't really have a favorite game. After saying that, he suddenly stopped in his tracks. Startled, Kong Soil asked, what's wrong? Baek Yu-hyan explained, about 20 meters ahead, there are 2 Adinal units. 20 meters? Kong Soil couldn't understand it. He didn't have any long-range perception abilities, so how could he possibly know the exact location and number of enemies 20 meters away? This was way too illogical. Baek Yu-hyan told her not to worry about it, and to just follow him. No way. Wait, seriously? The moment Kong Soil saw 2 Adinal units up ahead, she jolted in pure shock. Baek Yu-hyan, on the other hand, looked thoughtful. Come to think of it, that game, Beast Arena, I actually had a lot of fun with it. Kong Soil was utterly speechless. Bro, forget about that. There's danger right in front of us. Stop. Before her words even landed, Baek Yu-hyan blinked, teleporting straight in front of an Adinal. His size 42 boot slammed directly into the machine, sending it flying. With just a single kick, an Adinal was reduced to spare parts. It's worth noting that back in his craziest days, he had even climbed the Beast Arena leaderboards. Right then, he tightly clenched his fist again. He drove a punch into the second Adinal. The sheer force of the impact was so massive it made the very air shudder. Chat went nuclear again. Whoa, is he insane? He just deleted Adinal like that. Don't forget, guys, this is still in zero assist mode. Is this the true power of a Beast Arena high ranker? Once you say he's a Beast Arena top player, all his previous moves make perfect sense. Kong Soil couldn't quite wrap her head around it. Are Beast Arena top players really that insane? Chat started dropping knowledge. Wow, she doesn't even know about Beast Arena high rankers. Typical niche gamer, TSK. Honestly, I don't know either, lol. Are they really that good? Veterans immediately explained. Not sure how it is now, but back in the day, if you hit high rank in Beast Arena, pro teams would scout you instantly. Yep, that's literally exactly how Battler became a pro player. Kong Soil obviously recognized the name Battler. Isn't Battler the biggest superstar in the Reverse Planet Pro scene? Chat kept stirring the pot. Since he came from Beast Arena, do you think he ever fought Battler? I seriously want to see how Driver Bro versus Battler would go in Reverse Planet PvP. After scrapping the 2 Adinal units, Baek Yu-hyan didn't pause. He kept pushing forward. Soon enough, they arrived at the exit of the research facility. A booming voice invaded their ears. You actually had the nerve to crawl all the way up here. Do you not realize this place is about to become your grave? Chat recognized him instantly. Oh ho, it's an old acquaintance of his, the security captain of the lab, the tutorial boss. The guy's arrogance hadn't changed a bit. Don't worry, you'll be joining your companions who went ahead of you real soon. Seeing him, Baek Yu-hyan knew that this was the final stage of the tutorial. For the next second, Baek Yu-hyan looked as if he had seen something unbelievable. Countless spirits were crawling out from behind the security captain, yet the man remained completely oblivious. The spirits all wore expressions of ravenous, man-eating fury. By then, the security captain had already launched his attack. You're not leaving here alive. Kong Soil raised her gun and unleashed a barrage. Rat-a-tat-tat. But every single bullet was blocked by the security captain's shield. Kong Soil couldn't help but complain, that's such a cheat. Isn't a particle barrier only for awakened individuals? The viewers kindly pointed out, the security captain is and awakened. He's the tutorial boss. Having this level of power is totally normal. Thinking you could just brain dead clear this with guns is way too naive. Realizing she was outmatched, Kong Soil immediately ducked behind cover. Mr. Baek-yu-hyan, I'll provide fire support from the back. Chat roasted her immediately. The moment she realizes she can't win, she cries for driver bro. Oh, that pivot speed is absolutely legendary. Free rider mode activated. Baek-yu-hyan flashed right in front of the security captain. Fine, even if it's just a game. If it can give you all even a sliver of satisfaction, I'll give it a try. He threw a devastating punch. The particle barrier, which bullets couldn't even dent, actually caved inward. The security captain was sent flying backward, crashing down and kicking up a massive cloud of dust. Kong Soil stared in pure shock. What kind of monster is he? The stream was equally stunned. Whoa, LOL. He didn't even shoot just now, so why did the captain's particle barrier bend inward? Did the game bug out? The security captain, having never suffered such an indignity, roared in fury. You little insect! And then he actually switched into a new skin. Chat recognized it immediately. Iron Body has entered the chat. What's with that skin? Is that the captain's ability? Yep, the captain's ability is Iron Body. The security captain closed the distance with a few heavy leaps, charging at Baek-yu-hyan. I'm going to tear you to pieces. Sharp-eyed viewers noticed. Whoa, why is the ground caving in? Iron Body has to weigh at least a ton, right? If that punch lands, you're meeting your ancestors on the spot. To everyone's shock, Baek-yu-hyan casually sidestepped the lethal blow with absolute ease. Furious that he couldn't land a hit, the security captain bellowed. How long do you think you can keep dodging? In the next instant, one of the security captain's arms transformed into a high-speed drill. Wherever it passed, stone and debris violently exploded from the walls. Baek-yu-hyan couldn't just keep dodging forever. Right then, Baek-yu-hyan tightly clenched his fist. The viewers were sweating bullets for him. Just one hit from that is fatal, but he still refuses to get tagged. Even with combat assist fully on, I can barely dodge the captain's attacks. The fact that she offered fire support to a guy like this is hilarious. The very next second, Baek-yu-hyan's fist swept cleanly across the captain's iron-plated face, instantly shattering his visor. The security captain dropped to his knees, coughing heavily. Shockingly, his iron body state began to disengage. But Baek-yu-hyan wasn't pleased. Don't deactivate your iron body, because you don't get to die easily. The restless spirits hissed, urging him on. Kill him. Tear him to shreds, just like what was done to us, but be far more cruel. The security captain stared up in absolute terror. How could a test subject like you possibly possess this kind of power? Baek-yu-hyan looked down at him coldly. I have you to thank for that. By this point, Kong Soil had been completely reduced to a mere spectator. System prompt, frowny face, security captain eliminated. Kong Soil couldn't believe her eyes. What exactly did we just witness? The viewers lost their goddamn minds. Whoa, that was incredibly badass, LOL. Now, that is a true driver bro. Everyone, please take a moment to realize a horrifying fact. He did all of this on zero assist mode. But why does the way he beats people up look so unnervingly practiced? Don't tell me. Kong Soil puffed up proudly. Well, regardless of how it happened, we finally beat the tutorial boss. Now all we have to do is walk out. Chat kept relentlessly trolling. When you put it that way, getting a free carry really is the best feeling ever. Wait, why did a god-tier driver bro have to show up at this exact time? The last comment clearly just wanted to see Kong Soil suffer. Kong Soil urged him, let's go, Mr. Baek-yu-hyan. The moment Baek-yu-hyan turned his back, the dark spirits swarmed over the security captain's corpse, as if dragging his soul straight down to hell. As soon as they stepped out of the research facility, Kong Soil let out a huge breath. We finally escaped. System prompt frowny face tutorial mission. Escape the laboratory complete. Level up point 1 ability point acquired. Kong Soil asked, Mr. Yu-hyan, are you going to keep pushing the main story today? Baek-yu-hyan replied, no, I'm logging off here for today. He remained completely unfazed by Kong Soil's charms. Seeing that the stream was about to end, the viewers hurried to roast Kong Soil. This streamer has absolutely zero shame, LOL. Forbes list, top 1 most shameless freerider streamer. Using a mess to hard, thought the stream was pretty entertaining. I literally just joined. Why are you ending the stream already? The viewer la clearly had terrible timing. Kong Soil naturally wrapped things up, and with that, the zero assist tutorial clear mission is a success. Today's stream was super fun. See you all tomorrow. After the stream ended, Kong Soil properly expressed her gratitude to Baek-yu-hyan. Immediately after, she pitched an idea. Would you be willing to make regular appearances on my stream? A massive bead of sweat formed on Baek Yu-hyan's forehead. Appear on a live stream? Kong Soil hurriedly explained, why yes, we would mostly just do Reverse Planet main quest together and maybe occasionally dabble in some PvP. I will absolutely schedule everything around your availability and I'll pay you a very generous appearance fee. Kong Soil finished, looking at him with sparkling eyes of anticipation. But Baek Yu-hyan rejected her flat out. Kong Soil looked a bit disappointed. I understand. She knew in her heart that looking at his expression, any further persuasion would be utterly useless. But we can at least add each other as friends, right? Baek Yu-hyan agreed to that. Kong Soil then prepared to log off. Playing together today was really fun and I hope you continue to have a great time in Reverse Planet. Surprisingly, she was quite polite off camera. With that, the tutorial officially ended, leaving Baek Yu-hyan standing there all alone in a virtual world. Yet, the thing he'd been anticipating still hadn't happened. Why still can't I go back to that world? What he didn't know was just how massive of a shockwave his gameplay today would cause in the near future. Meanwhile, over on the Reverse Time forum, a video quietly surfaced frowny face technical post, analyzing why the no assist, no guns footage is blatantly using cheats. Let me explain exactly why this guy Baek Yu-hyan is a filthy hacker. But right at that moment, an even more explosive notification appeared. An anonymous viewer named number 62 donated 3 million KRW with a message. How does it feel to be back in reality? Early the next morning, inside the Korea branch of Planet Earth, the developers behind Reverse Planet, the entire team was facing an unprecedented crisis, all because of a single user. On the main monitor, a video clip played on a continuous loop, Baek Yu-hyan brutally beating the tutorial boss into the ground. No matter how many times they watched it, it remained utterly unbelievable. 0 assist, not even using a weapon, and he still completely pulverized the security captain. The atmosphere in the online community had already reached a unanimous verdict. It was 100% a cheat. Users were furiously flooding the company's internal message boards, demanding an official explanation. The regional manager rubbed his temples, a massive headache forming. Are we absolutely certain this isn't a hack? The blonde staffer answered without a second of hesitation. We're certain. Just to be safe, we meticulously reviewed all of his data from the exact moment of character creation. There is 0 record of tampering by any external programs. Besides, I've seen countless hacks in my time. I've seen wall phasing, speed hacking across the entire map, invisibility toggles. But movements like that, this is the first time I've ever seen anything like it. The blonde staffer's tone carried a faint trace of envy. It's completely absurd. Even a hack couldn't replicate mechanical execution like that. Another employee chimed in, if he's not using cheats, then this guy is an absolute lunatic. But there's still a microscopic chance that it could be a brand new type of cheat we simply haven't detected yet. The regional manager nodded in agreement. I agree. Regardless of what it is, we have to conduct a definitive verification. Meanwhile, inside a local smoothie shop, Baek Yu-hyan was currently on a date with Young Na-yeon. Baek Yu-hyan looked somewhat genuinely bewildered. So you're saying the online community is melting down entirely because of me? Young Na-yeon was practically buzzing with excitement. Yeah, it's a complete madhouse right now. Players have even started a massive 0 assist challenge trend because of you. The community forums have straight up labeled you a hacker. They swear it's absolutely impossible without cheats. Since every single person who tried it failed miserably, the public consensus has completely branded you as a filthy hacker. Do you have any idea how shocked I was the first time I saw that clip? You literally dropped your real name on a live stream. Baek Yu-hyan couldn't wrap his head around it. The stream clearly had privacy protection mode enabled, and his face was blurred like a mask. Young Na-yeon shouldn't have been able to recognize him at all. Young Na-yeon gave him a deadpan look. You literally said your own name out loud. Plus, I've seen the way you fight before. Though, I gotta say, even knowing you were strong, I never expected you to be this insanely strong, that if someone didn't know you personally, they'd definitely assume it was a hack. Baek Yu-hyan finally understood, so that's why they contacted me. Young Na-yeon blinked, startled. Contacted? What contact? Wait, the Planet Earth Korea branch actually reached out to you, and they said they want to verify if you're using cheats. Right at that moment, Kong Soil sent him a message. Baek Yu-hyan sighed helplessly and explained they reached out to me through that streamer. Young Na-yeon instantly went into full gossip addict mode. The game devs are personally stepping in to test if you're a hacker. That's pulling max aggro right there. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to accept? Baek Yu-hyan actually wanted to accept. Even if it was just the Korea branch, this was his one and only opportunity to make contact with the developers. If he could draw out someone higher up the chain, he might finally be able to uncover some clues about that other world. So, Baek Yu-hyun replied, I told him I'd think about it, but I've decided to give it a try. Young Na-yeon was even more hyped than he was. Really, great decision. If you're going to keep playing Reverse Planet, it's way better to clear your name first. Otherwise, getting called a hacker by everyone you meet would totally ruin your mood. Baek Yu-hyun still clung to a sliver of false hope. Whatever, I don't even care about that stuff anyway. Plus, would anyone actually recognize me? I didn't even show my face on the stream. But Young Na-yeon shattered his fantasy with a single sentence. They will. Even if you change your username, your fighting style is way too distinctive. It's impossible not to recognize you that a pure physical combat style that doesn't rely on abilities doesn't even exist in the pro scene. These days, even when pro players try to play on secret smurf accounts, they get exposed just by the subconscious habits they show in combat. The internet's eyes are sharp. Even Rookie didn't escape because of tiny ticks he didn't even realize he had. All his info got leaked. She quickly added, but it's a good thing you agreed. Otherwise, that streamer girl would have definitely gotten shredded alive by the internet. Baek Yu-hyun genuinely didn't understand this time. I am me, and Kong Soil is Kong Soil. We have absolutely nothing to do with each other. Young Na-yeon explained, exasperated. You idiot. Do you think people who are currently foaming at the mouth over a cheating controversy care about logic? At first, they'll just curse you out, but very soon, they'll point their pitchforks directly at the streamer. It was only then that Baek Yu-hyun realized the internet was actually a terrifying place. He immediately replied to Kong Soil's message, agreeing to undergo the verification. For Kong Soil, this happiness came way too suddenly. Staring at her phone screen in disbelief, she muttered, "It actually worked. It really worked." She couldn't help but start calculating. With the current level of hype, my viewership is guaranteed to skyrocket. Before this, her all-time peak concurrent viewership was exactly 8,584. She chuckled wickedly to herself. Everyone better brace themselves to be mind-blown, because this is going to be a spectacle that Reverse Planet history has never seen before. She immediately posted a channel announcement frowny face, hosting a cheat clarification stream. Hello everyone. I brought the hottest topic on the internet right now regarding Mr. Baek Yu-hyun's cheating controversy. We will be hosting a live clarification stream. 4 days later, Baek Yu-hyun logged back into the game. Kong Soil rushed up to him the moment he spawned. Hello, Mr. Baek Yu-hyun. I've been feeling incredibly guilty these past few days. IT feels like this whole mess blew up because of me. That I am so sorry. Baek Yu-hyun simply replied, "It's fine that I honestly don't really care." Then, Baek Yu-hyun asked a question in return. More importantly, Kong Soil. Don't you suspect me? Kong Soil looked a bit surprised. I saw your movements with my own 2 eyes that day. Besides, the evidence everyone is using to claim you're hacking is super flimsy. But most importantly, that look in your eyes like a deranged serial killer. It terrified me so much I didn't even dare to think you were just cheating. The moment the words left her mouth, she realized she had slipped up and desperately tried to backtrack. I mean, that was just my gut instinct. She then pulled out a virtual streaming camera. Anyway, if you're ready, I'm starting the stream. Hello everyone. Sorry to keep you all waiting. Kong Soil greeted the camera, not forgetting to flash a cute peace sign. Chat had been foaming at the mouth for ages. Whoa, it's finally starting. Explain. I'm literally dying of anticipation. Is this a stream selling hacks? Hacker out. I literally ordered fried chicken just to watch this drama. LMAO. He's obviously a hacker. What is there even to explain? I'm just here for the show. Exactly as Kong Soil had predicted, the moment she went live, the viewer count smashed past 10,000. Even she was in awe. The hype is unreal. This just goes to show how much attention this cheating controversy has garnered, which is exactly why I've invited Mr. Baek Yu-hyun back today. Baek Yu-hyun spoke up. Hello, I'm Baek Yu-hyun. The moment he appeared, the insults rained down. Crazy f***ing hacker. The sheer audacity. What's even the point of playing a game if you just cheat? Of course, some people push back. What is wrong with this chat's reaction? If he turns out not to be a hacker, what are y'all gonna do? To all the naive kids who still believe he isn't hacking, careful not to get brainwashed. Don't you guys know how to stay neutral until the verdict is out? So is he a hacker or not? In short, it was pure chaos. Kong Soil couldn't stand the toxicity anymore. Everyone, please follow basic chat etiquette. If things get too extreme, I'll turn off the chat function. She then turned her gaze to Baek Yu-hyun. Before we begin the official verification, Mr. Baek Yu-hyun, what are your thoughts on this entire controversy? Baek Yu-hyun replied flatly, I'm speechless to think that something of this level could cause a controversy. That single sentence set the internet on fire all over again. This level, you flipped Reverse Planet completely upside down, and you have a nerve to say this level? Is this the legendary arrogance of a beast arena high ranker? Elmeo the filthy hacker is acting tough now. Even Kong Soil felt the viewers had a point. Yeah, if that was just this level, then his mechanics are way too terrifying. The viewers were practically vibrating with anticipation. So how exactly are they going to explain this? Kong Soil responded to the chat. Great question. And right on time for today's verification, we've invited a very special guest who should be arriving right about now. She deliberately left them on a cliffhanger. The very next second, a man materialized. It was the guest Kong Soil had invited. And the most explosive part was the title floating above his head, GM. Hello everyone. I am Park GM, the Team 1 Operations Lead of Planet Earth Korea branch. The viewers were utterly shell-shocked. Who the hell is this guy? Wow. To prove he isn't a hacker, they actually brought in the official operations team. Elmeo. Wait, what? It's not a fake, it's real. He has the GM title floating above his head. Only dev-authorized operations staff can display that. This is pure insanity. Haha, looks like he really isn't a hacker. Where are all the sheep who were screaming hacker gonna do now? A flicker of hope ignited in Baek Yu-hyan's eyes. Since this man was an operations lead, it was highly likely he actually knew something. Once this verification was over, he needed to make sure he asked him everything clearly. The three of them exchanged formal greetings. Thank you for coming all this way. I'm the streamer, Kong Soil. I am Baek Yu-hyan. A pleasure to meet you. Park GM scrutinized Baek Yu-hyan. So this is the Baek Yu-hyan who caused this massive incident. He doesn't look like anything special on the outside. Then, please follow me to the verification site. The three of them quickly arrived inside a metallic chamber. This was a private training room, a space where players could practice using their abilities or conduct combat drills. Exactly as communicated beforehand, the verification process would involve observing multiple rounds of combat to definitively confirm whether any external program assistance was present. Baek Yu-hyan swept his gaze across the room. He had never seen a space like this in that other world. Park GM looked at Baek Yu-hyan. Do you consent to this? Baek Yu-hyan nodded. Yes, I consent. Since that is the case, this makes things much easier. In the very next second, an admiral materialized out of thin air. Chat blew up again. Whoa, isn't that the mid-tier version of Admiral? 0 assist plus he only put points into his first core element build. Can he actually beat a mid-tier training unit? I don't play this game. Is that thing super strong? You can't even compare it to the early prototype version from the tutorial. Park GM announced, we will begin directly with a mid-tier training unit. Baek Yu-hyan's pupils instantly changed color as he activated the perfect existence mode. The voices of the restless spirits echoed in his mind once more. Baek Yu-hyan, I'm so scared. Avenge me, Baek Yu-hyan. Staring intently at the test tablet in his hands, Park GM officially declared the start of the slaughter. The moment the words left his mouth, he flinched in shock, because Baek Yu-hyan, who had just been standing right beside him, had vanished. Immediately after, a jagged piece of shrapnel suddenly hurtled toward him. Park GM reflexively raised his tablet to block it, terrified of catching a stray fragment. The stream went absolutely feral again. Is he literally crushing a mid-tier Admiral with his bare hands right now? That thing wouldn't even have a scratch on it if you smashed it with a sledgehammer. I'm actually shivering right now. Am I the only one who thinks this is a little terrifying? It actually is terrifying. Admiral almost looks pitiful. It was absolute madness. Baek Yu-hyan was currently standing on top of the Admiral unit, casually crushing one of its mechanical components in his hand. Yet, Park GM test tablet clearly displayed no external program intervention detected. This was absolutely, definitively not a cheat. And with that, the first round of testing concluded. But Park GM still hadn't obtained the definitive conclusion he wanted, although no external programs were detected during this combat session. The verification time was simply too short. Could we ask you to conduct combat using a specific method we dictate? Since the entire point of this was to confirm whether or not he was using an auto-combat cheat, Baek Yu-hyan had no reason to refuse. Auto-combat cheats are essentially operated by proxy programs. Therefore, as long as a specific win condition is set prior to the battle, and the player can execute it perfectly according to the requirements, it definitively proves they aren't using an automated cheat. Park GM hadn't expected Baek Yu-hyan to be so cooperative and immediately said, "Thank you. For this round, please use the chain-link scythe to decapitate 3 mid-tier training units." Baek Yu-hyan nodded. No problem. Baek Yu-hyan agreed so readily that it actually made Park GM uneasy. What exactly is going on? These are overwhelmingly disadvantageous conditions, yet I don't feel the slightest inkling that Baek Yuhyan is going to lose. In the next second, 3 Adnal units spawned simultaneously. They lunged at Baek Yuhyan in unison, intending to finish him off in a single strike. But the instant they made their move, Baek Yuhyan had already teleported a distance away. It's impolite not to return a greeting. The moment Baek Yuhyan struck, the chain-link scythe proved its terrifying worth. An Adnal's body was sliced cleanly open in an instant. He simply cast a stylish glance over his shoulder. The 3 Adnal units shattered into pieces across the floor, while not a single speck of dust had touched his clothes. A clean one-shot kill. Kong Soil instantly bubbled with excitement. I knew I wasn't seeing things back then. The scythe was flying around like it was alive. You guys all saw that, right? The stream went crazy again. What did I just watch? The chain-link scythe is such a broken weapon, man. It's not the weapon that's broken, it's that god-tier player that's broken, right? Agreed. The scythe is supposed to be used for hooking enemies at close range. Only then did Park Ji-Hyan finally recover from his shock. That will be all. The data required for the verification has been sufficiently collected. However, as an operator of this game, a surge of pure, unadulterated curiosity welled up within him. With only a single core element, is it actually possible for him to defeat a high-tier training unit? Even though it was slightly indulging his personal desires, Park Ji-Hyan still spoke up. For the final round, let's try it one more time. As the heavy metal doors slowly slid open, a pair of blood-red mechanical eyes pierced through the darkness. It was actually a female model Adnal. The viewers watched in utter disbelief. Huh, they're actually bringing that out. Isn't this going a bit too far? The ops team is out for blood. If he actually beats this, the National Gaming Association will have to certify him as a walking human cheat. Park Ji-Hyan announced, "Next, we will conduct the verification using a high-tier training unit." This was one of the late-stage versions of the Adnal models. Baek Yuhyan stood across from it, calm and completely unreadable. Yet he remembered clearly. The number of test subjects who had died at the hands of this specific machine was incalculable. The Adnal model even twisted its face into a cruel, almost sadistic expression. In that exact moment, a terrifying killing intent erupted from Baek Yuhyan's body. But the Adnal was the first to violently explode into action. This was the first time Baek Yuhyan had been injured. A thin line of blood was grazed across his cheek. However, passively taking a beating wasn't his style. He tightly clenched his fists, weaving through the Adnal's chain flurry of punches while searching for an opening to counterattack, his own fists generating sonic booms as they tore through the air. Just looking at the cratered ruins of the wall behind him was enough to tell you. If even a single punch landed on him, he'd be meeting his ancestors on the spot. Baek Yuhyan thought to himself, as expected, this is leaps and bounds stronger than the mid-tier ones. In his current state, his body's durability simply wasn't high enough. His attacks couldn't even break through its defense. On top of that, its speed was absolutely absurd. Fine, then I'll just keep hitting it until its defense finally shatters. Both Kong Soil and Park Ji-Hyan watched in stunned silence. The viewers also thought he had lost his mind. Aside from calling him insane, I literally have no words. No, seriously, does this even make logical sense? I'm actually a little scared right now. One hit from that thing means instant death, yet it somehow can't land a single strike on him. Even Park Ji-Hyan hadn't anticipated that someone could frontally contend with a high-tier training unit relying on absolutely nothing but a single core element. He even seemed to be at a disadvantage initially, but just moments ago, he had begun to completely turn the tables and form an overwhelming suppression. The mechanics looked completely illogical, yet it was happening right before their eyes. Park Ji-Hyan decided there was no longer any need to continue observing and tapped his screen. The very next second, the Adnal vanished from Baek Yuhyan's sight. Baek Yuhyan blinked in surprise. He had still wanted to continue hunting the Adnal. Park Ji-Hyan stepped forward. The data required for the verification has been successfully collected. The training unit has been removed. Only then did Baek Yuhyan understand why the Adnal had abruptly disappeared. Kong Soil hurriedly asked for the verification results, which was exactly what the viewers care about the most. Park Ji-Hyan announced on the spot, "It has been definitively confirmed that there was no external program involvement whatsoever. In simple terms, he is not cheating." There were still some who refused to accept reality. How the hell is this not a cheat? How? But others immediately began mocking them. The official ops team just announced it. It's finally proven he's clean. Y'all were just screaming hacks with zero proof from the very beginning. El Mayo. Breaking news. The guy who started the witch hunt claiming it was a hack just deleted his post. Kong Soil felt completely vindicated. I told you guys he wasn't cheating. Is anyone seriously still doubting him? The viewers excitedly discussed the outcome. How could anyone still doubt him now? Haha. You can't beat official, hard evidence with your own headcanon. Even the most stubborn haters have to shut their mouths after seeing this. Honestly though, why does this guy look like he's even more excited? El Mayo. I've seen people hype up cheat tier plays before, but this is what a true cheat tier play actually looks like. Kong Soil's eyes lit up. Cheat tier plays? I really like the sound of that. Anyway, everyone make sure you remember this clearly. Baekhyun didn't use any cheats, that he just possesses raw, mechanical skill that looks exactly like cheats. Kong Soil began to wrap up the stream. Alright, since the verification is officially over, could I ask both of you to give one final comment? Baekhyun said flatly, "Thanks for the hard work." Park Ji-hyun laughed heartily. This was very entertaining. Kong Soil addressed the camera. That concludes today's stream. See you all next time. Looking at the analytics, the concurrent viewership had already smashed past 100,000. The viewers were extremely reluctant to leave. You're ending the stream now. Can't you read the room? I literally just got here. I mean, it was only supposed to be a clarification stream to begin with. Still, today's stream was absolutely legendary. Bye-bye. After the stream wrapped up, Kong Soil bowed politely. Thank you both again for joining the broadcast. Park Ji-hyun replied, "No, I should be thanking you. Especially you, Baekhyun, for agreeing to the verification request so readily." Park Ji-hyun was surprisingly courteous. With that, he prepared to log off from the game. But Baekhyun stopped him. "Wait a moment, there's something I need to ask you." Park Ji-hyun blinked in surprise. "Go ahead, what is it?" Baekhyun asked, "Has there ever been any sort of bug in the game? For instance, a case where someone couldn't log out of the game because of a bug?" Park Ji-hyun looked genuinely perplexed, clearly hearing this kind of thing for the first time. "A bug like that? I've never heard of it. If a fatal bug like that actually existed, Reverse Planet would have never become a world-class game." Baekhyun let out a quiet sigh. Right, and I understand. In the end, he still didn't get his answer. Shrouded in a rising curtain of particle light, Park Ji-hyun logged out. Kong Soil let out a massive sigh of relief. "It's finally over, Baekhyun. You really worked hard today. Oh, right, I want to pay you your cut of the stream revenue. Also, can I contact you again in the future?" Baekhyun figured the money wasn't necessary, but staying in touch was fine. What Baekhyun didn't know was that Kong Soil was already scheming in her head. Letting him go just like that would be a massive waste. He was a walking goldmine of content. Seeing her hesitate, Baekhyun asked, did you have something else you wanted to say?" But in the end, Kong Soil couldn't muster the courage to spit it out. She had only managed to book him for the clarification stream anyway. Pushing it today might be too much. She forced a smile. "No, it's nothing, that I'll just contact you next time." Baekhyun stared at the system window in front of him. The harvest from this event was far less than he had anticipated, leaving him a bit disappointed. Just then, Young Na-yeon sent him a message. "Stream's over, right? Meet me directly in the battle prep room." Young Na-yeon greeted him, looking completely eager for gossip. "So, how did it feel to stream? The forums are absolutely losing their minds over you. You went totally viral." Baekhyun still couldn't get used to it. Having to constantly stare at a chat window and make idle conversation while gaming just felt incredibly stiff and unnatural. Young Na-yeon blushed slightly. Is that so? Then what if, purely hypothetically, what if you didn't have to look at the chat window at all and just focus entirely on playing your own game?" Baekhyun had no idea what she was plotting. Young Na-yeon continued, entirely on her own wavelength. "I'll set all the configurations up for you. Just try it once before you decide." Baekhyun's heart sank. I'm getting forced to stream again, that he had never wanted to do streamer stuff in the first place. Young Na-yeon was as pushy as ever. "Alright then, that it's about time we play some PvP. PvP, short for player versus player, referred to combat strictly between players. Alongside PvE, it was universally hailed as one of the two god-tier game modes of Reverse Planet. Baekhyun was speechless. "PvP? You suddenly dragged me to the battle prep room just for this?" Young Na-yeon shot back. "Of course, were you really planning to quit the game without fighting me in Reverse Planet even once? That would break my heart." Baekhyun was utterly defenseless against that tone of hers. "No, it's just, I don't think this game really suits me, that I was planning to take a break from it and return to that faraway world." Young Na-yeon, however, stared him down intently. "PvP is the true soul of Reverse Planet. Don't jump to conclusions just because you cleared a tiny bit of the tutorial." Baekhyun realized she had a valid point. While the PV story mode felt almost exactly like that other world, PvP was a realm he had never experienced before. That team might just hold different clues. So, he nodded, understood, I'll give it a try. Young Nayan instantly lit up with joy. Hell yes. Then let me explain PvP to you. First up is duels. Just as the name implies, you fight against a matched opponent. There are 1v1 solos and 2v2 duos. It's a best of 3 format. Next is conflict, capture, contest, escort, and annihilation. You pick one of the 4 modes and engage in fixed 5v5 team battles. And the mode we'll be playing today is survival. 100 players drop into a massive zone, loot gear, and fight until the last surviving person or squad wins. It's a battle royale. Since it's your first time today, we'll play the squad mode .0. And to play PvP, you need to put together a proper build first. Let me recommend one for you. Hearing this, Baekhyun Hyan waved his hand dismissively. There's no need for that. He actually knew a pretty decent build already. The very same build that had earned him the universal title of superhuman in that other world. Baekhyun Hyan opened his interface and said, while you're getting ready to connect, I'll allocate my points. Young Nayan prepped her end and responded, okay, I'll get ready right now. Of course, the spawn point was the military base, standard meta. The military base was one of the premier PvP survival maps where high-tier loot was spread evenly. Because high-level players swarmed the area, it was absolutely not beginner-friendly. Right on cue, Young Nyan started stirring up trouble. Ugh, seriously. Can I record our PvP run today? I want to upload it to my short video platforms, please. Baekhyun Hyan looked at her with pure disgust and shooed her away. You can record it, but calm down first. Yes, Young Nayan cheered. Then, I'm connecting right now. Baekhyun Hyan honestly couldn't understand how this kid could get so overly excited. Young Nayan then hit the connect button. 2 system windows popped up, frowny face, spawn point confirmed. Zone 1 military base. Time until match start, 60 seconds. Young Nayan snapped a playful salute. See you alive, my friend. The very next moment, Baekhyun Hyan spawned inside a ruined building, alongside a man wearing a green shirt. The green shirt guy hadn't even registered the danger yet. Looking around, he muttered, 3rd floor hallway. Damn it, there's no good loot here, I need to rotate somewhere else. The moment the words left his mouth, Baekhyun Hyan materialized right behind him. Suddenly, flames erupted. Young Nayan stared at the notification that abruptly popped up on her screen. Baekhyun Hyan eliminated a lucky day. She hadn't expected it to happen this fast. First blood right out of the gate, that cheat tier plays really did hit different. Then a massive chain of kill feeds started flooding her screen. Frowny face Baekhyun Hyan eliminated Pointy Meal, Baekhyun Hyan eliminated Lee Seojun, Baekhyun Hyan eliminated Fried Chicken is Love, Baekhyun Hyan eliminated Kim Hin, Baekhyun Hyan eliminated How Did I Even Die, Baekhyun Hyan eliminated Strongest Jeonja. Watching the player IDs drop one after another, Young Nayan was absolutely stunned. What the hell is Baekhyun Hyan doing? Just then, another player named Slime Monster got dropped. Fatal wound, straight through the chest. Baekhyun Hyan actually started to suspect he was the last survivor of the entire match, simply because he couldn't sense the presence of any other players nearby. But he didn't expect to run into 4 people simultaneously as he headed downstairs. To him, it just meant exerting a few extra moves, like casually chopping vegetables. He effortlessly sent them all packing. Since they were teammates, they might as well die neatly together. Since he was done looting, it was time to leisurely head out. Right then, he received a distress message from Young Nayan. Baekhyun Hyan, help. There are way too many enemies here. I'm completely surrounded. Baekhyun Hyan checked the share map. She was in the opposite city block, which was quite a distance away. But he replied anyway. I'm heading there now. Where are you in the building? Young Nayan answered. I'm on the 3rd floor rooftop. But the sound of fighting downstairs is no joke. That IT sounds like every single floor is a war zone. Be careful. The moment Baekhyun Hyan stepped outside, he ran into 2 players. Both of them jumped in shock. What the hell is that bastard behind us? Why is he so fast? They couldn't comprehend it. One of them had insane reaction speed, instantly ordering his partner to prep his abilities while he tried to stall for time. But before he could even finish his sentence, Baekhyun Hyan sent him straight to the underworld, cleanly taking an arm with him. Baekhyun Hyan eliminated Tiger Zodiac. The remaining players stared in sheer disbelief. And no, what is this? He seemed to be running a body enhancement build heavily spec'd into agility. Thick, purplish-black mist billowed from his hands. The next second, he slammed both palms viciously into the ground. Die. The purplish-black mist violently tore through the floor, forming a 10-meter-long spike. Seeing the attack rapidly approaching, Baek Yu-hyan sprang forcefully into the air, looking as if he were about to execute a backflip. However, the exact moment his feet touched the ground, he had already assassinated the man. The enemy had never imagined Baek Yu-hyan could read his movements that perfectly. Baek Yu-hyan eliminated Baby T-Rex. After executing both of them, Baek Yu-hyan didn't even pause. He transitioned directly into a jog. Young Na-yeon was still waiting for him. Soon enough, the next unlucky bastard appeared. He was a short-haired blonde with the ID, "Buy me fried chicken." Shortly after, Baek Yu-hyan arrived right in front of Young Na-yeon's building. Young Na-yeon hadn't expected him to be this fast, and even hypocritically asked if he needed any fire support. Baek Yu-hyan told her to just stay put on the roof, then grab the door handle. He began to accurately sense the number of people inside. It felt like there were 5. The moment he cracked the door open, a rat was already waiting in ambush behind it, weapon raised. Seeing Baek Yu-hyan step in, the rat flashed a psychopathic grin. Without hesitation, he brought his blade down, die. But Baek Yu-hyan moved second and arrived first, violently clamping down on the man's wrist. The ambusher's eyes widened in sheer panic. The next second, it felt as if a freight truck had just slammed directly into his body. Baek Yu-hyan's punch sent him straight to the death screen, but Baek Yu-hyan still looked somewhat dissatisfied. "Looks like I need to push my speed even higher." With that, Baek Yu-hyan bounded up the stairs in a few rapid leaps. A massive flood of notifications popped up. He wiped out 4 more players in a single breath. Watching from the rooftop, Young-nun was absolutely dumbfounded. Again, this guy is seriously a monster. This is straight up bullying the lobbies. But in the next second, Young Na-yeon flinched hard. She swung her weapon without hesitation, sparks of electricity crackling along the blade. Baek Yu-hyan had arrived. And of course, he dodged her wild swing effortlessly. Young Na-yeon's heart was still racing. "What? You scared me. I didn't even notice you, and you were already right next to me." She lifted the buzzing electric chainsaw in her hands. She looked nothing like her usual self. She looked like a straight-up demon. With this, you could get 14 kills all by yourself. It was the first time Baek Yu-hyan had ever seen her like this, but he honestly felt he didn't even need to come. Young Na-yeon laughed awkwardly. It was the only weapon nearby. Then she switched topics fast. "So, did you clear everyone in this building?" With a chainsaw in hand, she got cocky, boldly claiming she'd carry Baek Yu-hyan for the rest of the match. In the end, the two of them finished that duo survival round in first place. Then they played 10 more rounds. Every single one ended in first place. Young Na-yeon was exhausted. She couldn't believe they actually got a 10-win streak. She had no strength left to keep streaming, so she called it there. But the way she looked at Baek Yu-hyan was different now. She thought he was just a normal college friend. Turns out he was a human weapon, and no matter what, she wanted to drag him into the streaming world. Baek Yu-hyan had no idea what she was plotting. Young Na-yeon immediately went into pitiful mode. Could you, just 2 days, hold off on the main quest and wait for me? I'll come up with a real streaming plan." Baek Yu-hyan wasn't interested, and he wasn't planning to do any main quest anyway. Young Na-yeon being Young Na-yeon, she decided everything on her own. "Just hear me out next time. I'll come prepared. See you." Then she logged off. Who gave him the chance to refuse again? Baek Yu-hyan was left speechless. Again, he walked away disappointed. He still hadn't found any clues in PvP either. Meanwhile, Consoil was sprawled comfortably on her bed, scrolling her phone. She was browsing the Reverse Planet forums. Of course, it was all about Baek Yu-hyan and her. The more she read, the more she rolled around, giggling. This is insane. 100,000 viewers. Am I really seeing this in my streaming career? She couldn't help thinking. If she could keep streaming with Baek Yu-hyan, she'd explode even harder. She even regretted not clinging harder earlier. But she also remembered Baek Yu-hyan had clearly said he wasn't interested in streaming, yet he'd been firm from the start. Still, the most important thing now was the settlement. How much money had come in? Then her eyes flew wide open. Oh, what is this? The next day, Young Na-yeon dragged Baek Yu-hyan out again, and even brought a laptop. Baek Yu-hyan looked distracted. "You called me out so suddenly, I thought it was something serious." Sweat beaded on Baek Yu-hyan's forehead. "What is this supposed to be?" On the screen was a cute blue cat. What else could it be? Young Na-yeon grinned. "This is the PPT I stayed up all night making to convince you." Baek Yu-hyan was beyond done. All night work for this? Young Na-yeon kept talking. "Yu-hyan, didn't you say you'd be fine streaming if you didn't have to interact with chat? If you could just play?" Baek Yu-hyan didn't remember saying that at all. But Young Na-yeon launched into a full monologue anyway. So what about an observation show format? Baek Yu-hyan clearly had no idea what that meant. Young Nayeon explained. An observation show was where multiple hosts sat in a studio and watched footage of someone else. You play the game. I handle the interaction. If I'm not enough, we can even bring in a pro commentator. You get 60% of the revenue. I take 40%. Pretty good, right? Baek Yu-hyun was speechless. I said I'm not interested. Young Nayeon still pushed. No, you just don't understand how much streaming can pay. Wait, didn't you get settlement from Kong Soil? That finally jogged Baek Yu-hyun's memory, right? He'd received an email that morning. Young Nayeon had rushed him out, and he hadn't checked what it said yet. Baek Yu-hyun clicked open the email. The subject line read, "Breakdown of your first settlement payout, sent by Kong Soil." For a single stream, Kong Soil had voluntarily sent him a massive 6 million KRW. Young Nayeon was practically green with envy. How much? 6 million. I mean, seeing this amount doesn't make you want to stream? But what gripped Baek Yu-hyun's attention wasn't the money. It was the messages attached underneath. The next second, Baek Yu-hyun's face drained of color. Every message was from someone named Anonymous Viewer Number 62. "Hello, Mr. Yu-hyun. It's a pleasure to see you again. How does it feel to be back in reality? A new special mission has already been prepared for you. From now on, let's meet through your streams." Even more terrifying, beneath every single message was a massive donation. Baek Yu-hyun couldn't stay calm. The number 62 was a number he would never forget in this lifetime. He knew he had returned from there, and that username felt like a direct shot at him. Subject number 62. He shot to his feet. Who is it? Who the hell knows I'm back? He looked at Young Nayeon. Can you trace the donor's info? Young Nayeon blinked, confused. Why the sudden interest? With privacy laws, it's basically impossible. Baek Yu-hyun stared dead at his phone that he couldn't DM them first. The only way to communicate was in a live broadcast. He nodded, agreeing to Young Nayeon's proposal. He would stream. This miracle came so suddenly that Young Nayeon double-checked in disbelief. Really? No backing out later. She immediately posted an announcement, frowny face, breaking news. The hacker god appears in a personal stream. August 2, 2041, 7:00 p.m. Nuclear sightseeing content incoming. Featuring Hacker God Cha, Songchul, Young Nayeon. Friday evening was beautiful. People enjoyed their leisure time, each carrying their own expectations. But the self-proclaimed gaming addicts were already glued to their screens. What they cared about most was the collab stream between the 3.as for Young Nayeon. Who even was she? Still, some knew her. A solo streamer, supposedly a friend of the hacker god. People had already ordered fried chicken, waiting for the show. 5 minutes before the start, the broadcast cut to the studio. Young Nayeon was trembling with nerves, looking completely hopeless. Cha Songchul was a decent guy and comforted her. Don't worry that you're prepared. Nothing will go wrong. Cha Songchul was a professional reverse planet commentator, and he'd only agreed so quickly because Young Nayeon claimed she was a friend of Baek Yu-hyun. To ease the awkwardness, he scratched his head. I can't believe someone besides Ms. Kong Soil managed to invite the hacker god. The stream rolled straight into a countdown. Young Nayeon steadied herself. Hi everyone, I'm Young Nayeon. Nice to meet you. Cha Songchul added, "Hello viewers, I'm Cha Songchul." Immediately, the chat started hyping. The doors open. What? Where's the hacker god? Bring him out. A sweat drop appeared on Young Nayeon's forehead. Looks like everyone's panicking because the hacker god isn't on screen yet, but it's too early for disappointment. The hacker god is already in the game. The feed switched to the game. Baek Yu-hyun had privacy protection mode enabled. The chat room instantly exploded. It's him. Ban the people calling clickbait. Why does the way he spins that short blade look so cool? I'm shaking. Young Nayeon continued. As you can see, the hacker god's content will be presented in an observation show format. Watching his gameplay while we provide commentary and analysis. Everyone's curious how he'll play RP, so let's confirm it properly. She then connected to Baek Yu-hyun. System broadcast, frowny face, interdimensional management bureau bulletin. Rescue the survivors and ensure they safely evacuate the forest to rendezvous with our unit. A quest window appeared, frowny face, main quest. Rendezvous with the Interdimensional Management Bureau. Avoid the security patrol, searching for escaped test subjects, and meet the Bureau at the forest perimeter. Baek Yu-hyun knew this all too well. It was exactly like back then. In that other world, simply running for his life had taken everything he had. But this time, Baek Yu-hyun let out a savage roar that instantly drew the security patrols. Over there, surround him, three-way pincer. It was obvious he did it on purpose. He was here to avenge the restless spirits. Facing 3 on the ground and 2 in the air, Baek Yu-hyun's hand settled onto his chain-link scythe. He had only one objective: Kill them all. It was his comrade's final wish. The next second, two of them opened up with machine gun fire. Baek Yuhyan dodged while whipping the chain-linked scythe through the air. The blade struck one machine gun dead on. Round 1. Cold steel wins. The guard jolted in shock. Then the explosion swallowed him whole. Baek Yuhyan flashed into the air and a guard laughed. "Idiot, delivering yourself to me, die." But Baek Yuhyan's hands never stopped. The chain-link scythe whipped out, looping behind two guards without them noticing. The chain spun once, tying a knot. Baek Yuhyan yanked hard. The two guards slammed into each other on the spot. Then, he spun the chain-linked scythe in a brutal arc. They crashed into the ground like a pair of ragdolls, getting intimate. Blood sprayed out instantly. Baek Yuhyan dropped from the sky to finish them off. Only then did everyone realize he'd already activated perfect existence. In that moment, he looked both mysterious and terrifyingly strong. Young Nayeon's jaw nearly hit the floor. "This is not the RP I know." Cha Sung-cheol was equally stunned. "I've commentated RP for years, and I've never seen someone play like this. Zero strategy, that he was literally pulling every enemy toward himself." Chad actually understood Baek Yuhyan perfectly. The hacker god himself is a strategy. Too lazy to hunt? Just making the enemies come to you. That's pure common sense. I thought he only killed what he bumped into. I'm repenting as we speak. When he suddenly started screaming, I thought he'd lost it for real. I was doing something else, got jump scared, and ran back here, LMAO. I love cats, donated 50,000 KRW. Isn't perfect existence way too broken? What kind of skill doesn't even have a cooldown? Young Nayeon turned to Cha Sung-cheol. "People say perfect existence is cheating. What's your take on that?" Cha Sung-cheol explained, "I can say with absolute certainty, it's not. Most skills have built-in cooldowns. That's exactly why the hacker god style. Ignoring cooldown timing and relying on core mechanics. Looks like cheating. But perfect existence merely amplifies physical performance. That IT doesn't boost combat IQ or weapon proficiency. And on top of that, he's playing in no assist mode. To put it bluntly, if your body can keep up, you could fight like that in real life too. In other words, perfect existence only looks godlike because the hacker god is the one using it." Right then, a voice reached Baek Yuhyan's ears. "Surround him." CH Shaq, 4 Dargun barrels snapped toward him simultaneously. The leader spoke. "We're from the Interdimensional Management Bureau. Drop your weapon and surrender." This man was Kim Cheol, a team leader of the Bureau. The Interdimensional Management Bureau was the government department responsible for sweeping up invaders that came through interdimensional portals. They primarily focused on detaining dangerous entities in the resource-chaotic inverted world and carrying out elimination protocols. Baek Yuhyan slowly raised both hands. "Director Kim Cheol. No, at this point, I should call you team leader that I didn't expect to meet you here." Kim Cheol noticed Baek Yuhyan's clothes and said, "So you're a victim who escaped the LABM? Why apologies? Stand down, everyone." Baek Yuhyan said it was fine. Kim Cheol looked at him and asked, "But what's the deal with that walkie-talkie?" Baek Yuhyan explained that an official inside the lab had given it to him. A shadow of grief crossed Kim Cheol's face. Then they must have died. Baek Yuhyan thought. Team leader Kim Cheol is just like the one over there. Far too human. Quickly regaining his composure, Kim Cheol began issuing orders. "Until your identity is confirmed, please remain with the Bureau. Lab personnel sometimes impersonate victims." He ordered his team to withdraw AS for being invited for tea. Baek Yuhyan didn't mind. He was already used to it. Kim Cheol added, "Thank you for your cooperation. I'll lead the way." System notification frowny face. Main quest rendezvous with the Interdimensional Management Bureau completed. Level up. 1 ability point acquired. Scene change. Interdimensional Management Bureau headquarters. Baek Yuhyan sat in a consultation room. Even he hadn't expected to end up here. In that other world, after escaping the lab, he took corporate contracts to fund his revenge. Some even involved assassinations and kidnappings. But the bulk of his work was inverted world suppression. Corporations would sweep for loot on their own, and the moment they judged the leftovers as useless, they'd dump the cleanup on him. Over time, he naturally became entangled with the Bureau. Although they had cooperated on raids before, he had also drawn his blade against them more than once. Right then, the rhythmic click of high heels approached. "Hello, Mr. Baek Yuhyan. I am Lee Eugene, an officer under Interdimensional Management Bureau Team 1. As soon as the beauty appeared, chat came alive again. "Eugene, asli toptiga RP beauty no do." Baek Yuhyan greeted her. "Hello, Lee Eugene." Lee Eugene pulled up a chair and sat down. "It's been a rough trip for you. Currently, you have 2 options in front of you. First, accept bureau protection, and live as a civilian. In this case, use of abilities is strictly forbidden. Second, become an officer belonging to the bureau. Of course, choosing the second option doesn't mean you'll be an active officer immediately, that you'll need appropriate training, and you'll only be deployed once you're judged ready for real combat. Baek Yu-hyan remained silent in that other world. He had even killed bureau officers. Now he was being asked to become one. Lee Eugene asked again. So, civilian or officer? Which will it be? Baek Yu-hyan looked tense. He weighed it carefully. If he chose to be a civilian, he'd likely end up taking corporate contracts again. They didn't want to walk that path here. Plus, he was curious about the bureau's internal situation. So he chose to become an agent under Team 1 without hesitation. Lee Eugene looked pleased. Good choice. Having you with us will be a huge help. Lately, corporations keep poaching Awakened, so we're severely understaffed. She sounded frustrated. Very few people could turn down that kind of high pay. She added, I'm not saying this just because I'm bureau staff, but I've heard many people regret signing with those companies. They're still new. They lack experience training Awakened, and they often refuse responsibility when training accidents happen. In contrast, the Bureau has a long history and deep experience in training Awakened and suppressing the inverted world. But Baek Yu-hyan wasn't some naive kid. He knew far more than Lee Eugene did. Corporate pay was better, sure, but the risks were far higher. In that other world, plenty of Awakened lost their lives on corporate contracts. Some companies even pulled the no money, take a life routine and refused to pay that. He only got his money back then after literally cutting them open. That incident exposed him as an unregistered Awakened, and the Bureau chased him for a long time. Come to think of it, he had met director Kim Cheol back then too. Lee Eugene said she'd request his Awakened registration through the computing team, then pushed a phone toward him, saying it was for work. Baek Yu-hyan looked at the phone. So what do I do first? Lee Eugene told him, start as a trainee, prove your strength, then you'll be promoted and assigned a squad. But she had her own agenda. She hoped he'd end up at her Team 1. Baek Yu-hyan read the room perfectly. I sincerely hope for that as well. After all, he still owed her. The broadcast that told the innocent victims trapped in a lab to flee had been hosted by Lee Eugene. Because she led the raid on the lab, he and his comrades had survived. The two quickly reached an agreement. Outside the game, Young-un suddenly panicked. Wait, hold on, doesn't this feel weird? Why is the conversation with the NPC so natural? In her memory, weren't NPCs supposed to be incapable of real communication? She had reason to suspect the route had changed, because the Lee Eugene she knew wasn't like this at all. Cha Sung-cheol was trembling with excitement. I can't believe it. I suspected it, but it really is a fully responsive AI. Chat exploded. Reverse Planet is a masterpiece. No way, that actually works. What even is a fully responsive AI? A fully responsive AI refers to an artificial intelligence NPC capable of responding appropriately to any situation or request. Unlike standard NPCs, it can converse freely and adapt in real time. Because the technology is massively resource-intensive, the industry believed it couldn't be implemented in an online game. Young Na-yeon blurted out, so, did they solve the resource problem perfectly? Cha Sung-cheol disagreed. Probably not. If they truly solved it at that level, there's no reason to hide it as an Easter egg. They'd be blasting ads everywhere. The headlines would write themselves. Reverse Planet lets you talk to NPCs. Reverse Planet becomes the world's first game to launch fully responsive AI, making the impossible possible. Reverse Planet's fully responsive AI. So my guess is the tech only activates under specific conditions, and the baseline condition is likely zero correction from the very start. In other words, combat correction set to 0%. Young Na-yeon looked like she'd never seen the world. Wow. Baek Yu-hyan, you seriously? Then she snapped back. So the forums are going to explode, right? Cha Sung-cheol nodded. Absolutely, I'll be too excited to sleep waiting to see what Planet Earth says. Their commentary rhythm was unexpectedly clean. Cha Sung-cheol continued. And if he's interested in Reverse Planet's story, he'll definitely be interested in this. We might even be able to invite someone important as a guest. Then he sighed. But it's a shame. Today's story segment ends here, right? Young Na-yeon replied. Yes, please look forward to the next stream. Now we're switching into PvP. Chat complained, don't cut it off here. When's the next stream? In the battle prep room, Baek Yu-hyan was already ready to... He kept waiting for anonymous viewer number 62 to appear, but nothing. He had specifically told Young Na-yeon, if an ID named anonymous viewer number 62 donated or left a message, she had to tell him immediately, no matter what he was doing. Young Na-yeon didn't understand why, but she agreed. With no alert from her yet, Baek Yu-hyan knew he had to keep streaming a little longer. He messaged Young Nayeon, ready. Young Nayeon quickly told the stream, "Alright, let's continue PvP. Today's segment is duels. And by the way, this is the first time our nuclear body player is trying duels." Cha Song-cheol picked it up. Then we start from the normal league, for viewers who don't know. Reverse Planet has 8 ranks: Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Master, Grandmaster, Challenger. And to enter Bronze, you must first win 10 matches in the normal league. Statistically, pros average 30 minutes. Normal players average 2 hours. Chat's self-reflected, damn, I'm below average. This game has tons of smurf accounts, so matchmaking luck matters too. A mission popped up. Reach Bronze within 30 minutes. Reward, 500,000 KRW. Young Nayeon's eyes went wide. She messaged Baek Yoo-hyun immediately. Holy crap, first mission. 10 wins in 30 minutes, doable. Baek Yoo-hyun flashed an okay gesture. Chat teased, oh ho, confidence. Are you calling pro players trash? Is this arrogance? Go, go, go. The duo kept commentating. This just got exciting. Alright, can our nuclear body player clear the challenge? Stay to the end. And next, Baek Yoo-hyun would give them a massive surprise. PvP duels, normal solo matchmaking, success. Zone 6, residential district. 10 seconds until round 1 begins. Baek Yoo-hyun entered the arena. The next second, Cha Song-cheol jolted. Baek Yoo-hyun pulled out a weapon he'd never seen before. The opponent was delighted. Melee only build? As long as I don't let him close the distance, this is a free win. Everyone underestimated the nuclear body player. The countdown ended. Round 1 began. The opponent fired a long-range attack, Cold Burst. The next second, a thin line appeared across his body. Because Baek Yoo-hyun had already finished his move, the 4 opponents split in 2. Round 1 over. Winner, Baek Yoo-hyun. Loser, Anonymous. Current score, frowny face, Baek Yoo-hyun. 1-0 Anonymous. The next round began immediately. The Anonymous player's luck was horrific. He matched into Baek Yoo-hyun again. Oh come on, another smurf bully, FF. Anonymous surrendered. Duel ended. Winner, Baek Yoo-hyun. Loser, Anonymous. Then came match 2. Baek Yoo-hyun slashed once, cutting the opponent's attack in half. The opponent only managed to gasp, "My shadow spear," before he split in 2 as well. Baek Yoo-hyun was simply too strong. .1 move, .1 kill, every time. Current score, frowny face, Baek Yoo-hyun. 2-0, Pineapple Bun. Winner, Baek Yoo-hyun. Loser, Pineapple Bun. Then match 3. The opponent was a Taekwondo guy. He leapt high, leaving himself wide open. Baek Yoo-hyun didn't waste the gift that a clean execution line appeared across the man's body. Hay-eating guinea pig died so hard there was no coming back. Match 4. Another instant kill. Baek Yoo-hyun kept harvesting opponents at a terrifying pace. Soon he hit 10 straight wins, taking only 20 minutes. Young Nayeon and Cha Song-cheol were speechless. Meanwhile, Baek Yoo-hyun's rank rose to bronze. Young Nayeon stuttered. She was diamond rank, yet she looked tiny next to him. Tish, this is insane. It feels like getting robbed just watching. Cha Song-cheol hadn't expected 10 wins in 20 minutes either. Chat was shaken. What even is this? He just broke the pro record. One word, GOAT. Cha Song-cheol continued. The time is absurd, but what's scarier is the match log. Normally, when you face bad matchups or high-risk builds, your performance fluctuates. Flame builds are hard to deal with. Yet no matter what build they brought out, the nuclear body player showed a perfectly stable performance. Clean, fast, decisive. A user named Pinecone donated 500,000 KRW. Wait, how is this even possible? The moment she saw the donation, Young Nayeon's face lit up. Thank you for the sponsorship, Pinecone. So, what kind of legendary moments are we going to witness in the upcoming ranked matches? I seriously can't wait. Cha Song-cheol chimed in. Same here, but honestly, I'm actually a little worried. We're currently live. After all, that a stream snipe would be incredibly easy, wouldn't it? As it turned out, he was worried about Baek Yoo-hyun. Even so, the actual probability of a successful stream snipe wasn't very high. He just hoped he was overthinking things. The moment those words left his mouth, a system window popped up, frowny face, PvP duel mode. Ranked solo. Match successful. Zone 11, public graveyard. Baek Yoo-hyun paused when he saw who had arrived. The blonde guy started spewing profanities the second he spawned. You shameless little fucker. I finally caught you. Watch closely, boys. The hacker education class starts right fucking now. The chat instantly blew up. No way. Did he actually get sniped in his very first ranked match? LOL. Wait, how did he even manage that? Absolute tryhard. He's still calling him a hacker. What a clown. Did you guys see that? That's the average mentality of Snipe Dog right there. The game developers literally proved he's clean. What kind of people are still crying hacks? Baek Yu-hyan calmly rested his hand on the hilt of his sword. Seeing this, Cha Song-cheol chuckled. Our nuclear body player didn't fall for his taunt at all. Young Na-yeon immediately jumped in. That's because I specifically told him to completely ignore trash like this if he ever ran into them. And here we go. It's starting. Round 1 officially commenced. The blonde guy immediately unleashed his elemental power, his entire body crackling with violent electricity. With a sharp whoosh, he charged straight at Baek Yu-hyan, carving a golden arc of lightning through the air. Die, you filthy hacker. Yet, every single one of his explosive punches was effortlessly dodged by Baek Yu-hyan. He didn't land a single hit. The viewers were dying of laughter. LOL, so much for education. He's getting played like a damn monkey. So, who's the one actually getting educated here? This is just embarrassing to watch. He looked so incredibly confident too, I kinda wanted to see him try a little longer. Right then, Baek Yu-hyan drew his sword. With just a casual, dismissive swing, he struck the blonde guy cleanly in the abdomen. What a waste of my time. Round 1 ended. The winner was, of course, Baek Yu-hyan. But even at death's door, the blonde guy couldn't keep his mouth shut. You monstrous fucking hacker! The match immediately transitioned into the next round. There was a 10-second preparation phase in between. The blonde guy still possessed a shred of shame, frantically scrolling through his system panel in a panic. This is humiliating. If this keeps up, I'm gonna lose again. Looks like I have no choice but to use that. Round 2 began. The blonde guy's body crackled with electricity once more. Baek Yu-hyan, however, frowned slightly. The atmosphere feels much sharper, much heavier than before. This time, the blonde guy had vastly improved. His movements had become hyper-efficient, terrifyingly similar to an admiral. But even so, his attacks were still completely useless. Furious that he couldn't land a hit, the blonde guy twisted his face into a nasty snarl. Do you get it now? You cheating bastard. I was just going easy on you in round 1. The moment he finished speaking, an endless barrage of fists rained down on Baek Yu-hyan, striking him relentlessly like a punching bag. Baek Yu-hyan's heart sank. My instincts were right. So this is what he meant by hacks? He suddenly remembered what Young Na-yeon had told him. Even if you run into someone who calls you a hacker and deliberately provokes you, make sure you utterly and completely crush them. But coming from her mouth, why did those words sound so incredibly bone-chilling? In the next second, Baek Yu-hyan fully activated perfect existence. A frigid, ghostly aura began to seep from his body. The blonde guy broke out in a cold sweat. What the hell is this? The atmosphere just suddenly... But he desperately convinced himself there was no reason to be afraid. No matter how you looked at it, he currently held the absolute advantage. He charged forward once again. Why you? Quit trying to act tough, you hacker. But in the next blink, Baek Yu-hyan vanished from his spot entirely. A sword flashed out, brushing right past the blonde guy. The blonde guy spat out a mouthful of red spray. You bastard. But the very next second, Baek Yu-hyan materialized right beside him again. With a clean slash directly to his arm, the blonde guy let out an agonizing howl. He swung his other fist in a desperate attempt to strike back. Bastard. But Baek Yu-hyan didn't earn the title of human weapon for nothing. He simply raised his sword and sliced straight through the blonde guy's punching hand. The blonde guy suffered a total mental breakdown on the spot and literally started crying. Both of my hands are destroyed. How the hell am I supposed to play now? Both Young Na-yeon and Cha Song-cheol were at a complete loss for words. Everyone. Don't tell me. Yeah. He's deliberately avoiding the finishing blow, isn't he? He clearly had multiple chances. It certainly looks that way. The hacker god really takes Ms. Young Na-yeon's advice to heart, doesn't he? Hearing this, Young Na-yeon felt a sudden pang of guilt. I mean, I did tell him to completely crush them, but the chat went absolutely feral. The monster that Young Na-yeon created that I'm shivering. What a terrifying woman. At the end of the day, he only became like this because of Young Na-yeon's advice. What kind of advice is she going to give him next? I feel nothing but fear. The blonde guy was now entirely consumed by terror. Damn it. Who the hell are you? Baek Yu-hyan pointed his blade squarely at him. I'm returning your own words to you, exactly as you said them. With that, Baek Yu-hyan finally granted him a quick death. Round 2 ended. After that, Baek Yu-hyan continued his duels with unstoppable momentum, securing an astonishing 30-win streak in one breath. Both Young Na-yeon and Cha Song-cheol were left in a daze. He's already hit the gold rank. I'm getting dizzy. To think he'd set a record of 30 straight wins on his debut stream. The viewers were also completely numb by the shock. I literally couldn't even breathe watching that. Is this what true smuffing looks like? What the hell did this guy eat growing up to become like this? Please, for the love of God, can you share the build? Young Nayeon hesitated for a moment. Make the build public? Most normal players would treat that as a closely guarded secret. But maybe I should just ask? She immediately messaged Baek Yuhyan. Yuhyan, is it okay if we make this build public? If you don't want to, you could just say no. Surprisingly, Baek Yuhyan agreed without a second thought. Young Nayeon was instantly thrilled. Jackpot. Everyone, the hacker god said he's going to make the build public. I'll organize everything after the stream and upload it directly to the community forums. The viewers couldn't believe this sudden blessing. Seriously? He's actually going to share the build? Well, I was just asking casually. I didn't think it would actually happen. Isn't making a build public a super sensitive issue? The only explanation is that Baek Yuhyan is just overflowing with confidence. Following that, Young Nayeon and Cha Song-cheol bowed deeply to the camera. We will see you all during the next broadcast. Thank you very much for tuning in for so long. The moment they went offline, Cha Song-cheol was bouncing off the walls with excitement. This is huge, absolutely massive, right? A fully responsive AI, a 30-win streak, and he's sharing his build. Every single gaming community is about to detonate. Young Nayeon stared at the endless zeros in her donation revenue, her eyes practically shining. At this rate, isn't he going to set a brand new record? What's the highest win streak for duels right now? Cha Song-cheol flipped through the records. Currently, the highest win streak record in duels is 76 wins, set by the pro battler when he was leveling up a Smuff account. Young Nayeon grinned from ear to ear. Well, I hope Baek Yuhyan can set a new record. No, if it's Baek Yuhyan, he absolutely will. Cha Song-cheol nodded in agreement. I strongly agree. And considering the pro battler is famous for his intense competitive spirit, there's a good chance he's watching the Hacker God's gameplay right now. Just as they predicted, the gaming forums erupted into absolute chaos on the spot. What was even more surprising was that the blonde guy, after being heavily reported for using cheats, was slapped with a permanent ban. Meanwhile, a specific comment caught the attention of certain someone. Even if Battler shows up, he won't be able to win. And the person currently reading this exact comment was none other than Battler himself. A single thought crossed his mind. This is getting very interesting. A few days later, the second live stream officially kicked off. Anonymous viewer number 62 hadn't made an appearance during the previous broadcast, leaving Baek Yuhyan deep in thought. Am I still lacking something? Just then, Lee Eugene waved at him. Hey Junior, over here. Today, she was dressed exceptionally provocatively, a sharp uniform paired with black stockings. Even through the screen, the viewers had hearts in their eyes. As expected of the top 3 visuals in Reverse Planet, she's insanely gorgeous. Lee Eugene asked with a caring tone, your first actual field mission, aren't you nervous? But anyone who truly knew Baek Yuhyan would know she was asking the wrong person. The field mission had arrived sooner than expected, but for Baek Yuhyan, it was literal child's play. Furthermore, the moment Baek Yuhyan logged in, a new quest window had popped up. First field mission issued. Please change into your combat uniform and rendezvous at the designated location. Lee Eugene. Baek Yuhyan thought this was great since it meant skipping the boring training phase. But what exactly was this field mission? Lee Eugene informed him. They needed to thoroughly sweep and eradicate the invasive entities inside Reverse Planet and seal off the spatial rift. They had received a report of a possible exposure. Moreover, this was another location that had been completely abandoned by the corporations. Sometimes, when corporations saw profit in a sweep, they would turn a blind eye or just observe from the sidelines. But the moment they deemed it unprofitable, they would trash the site and just walk away, washing their hands of the mess. Lee Eugene harbored a deep hatred for these opportunistic, profit-driven corporations. Baek Yuhyan strongly agreed. As expected, the shit those corporate bastards pull is exactly the same no matter where you go. That being said, the danger rating for insect-type invasive entities was very low. They were undeniably weak, but they made up for it in sheer numbers, making them the annoying type of enemy that was just a hassle to deal with. The moment the two arrived at the entrance, a soldier snapped a crisp salute. Loyalty, I am Sergeant Park Ji-hyun. Are you too the awakened from the Interdimensional Management Bureau? Lee Eugene immediately pulled out her ID badge. Yes. Thank you for your hard work. After verifying her credentials, the soldier said, confirmation complete. You may head straight inside. The two soldiers couldn't help but murmur in awe. It was their first time seeing a portal manifest inside an abandoned factory. Baek Yuhyan and Lee Eugene stepped up to the front of the portal. But Baek Yuhyan couldn't shake the feeling that this place looked somewhat familiar. It turned out he had seen this exact place in that other world, but back then, the portal had definitely been mid-scale, not small-scale. Had something gone wrong? Just as they were preparing to enter, a harsh, barking laugh rang out. Well, who do we have here? Why is our senior Lee Eugene running a rinky-dink small-scale sweep? The speaker had an incredibly arrogant and rebellious tone. His name was Choi Hyung Cheol, an awakened affiliated with Jumsun Electronics. Lee Eugene also seemed somewhat surprised. Choi Hyung Cheol, why are you here? Choi Hyung Cheol retorted, I was startled too, okay? I never expected my mission to overlap with yours, senior. Lee Eugene clearly despised him. He had been so resolute when he washed his hands of the bureau back then. Yet here he was running missions again. Was he plotting some kind of scheme? Choi Hyung Cheol feigned grievance, saying I have a scheme? That really hurts my feelings, you know. He then shifted his gaze to Baek Yu-hyun. Is this the newly recruited junior? He deliberately leaned in close to Baek Yu-hyun. Hey, stop suffering under the bureau's thumb. How about you come join a corporation instead? Lee Eugene looked so furious she was ready to beat the living daylight out of him. Mr. Choi Hyung Cheol, please stop crossing the line. Choi Hyung Cheol dramatically threw both hands in the air and took a few steps back. All right, geez, you're scary. I'll yield this territory to you, senior. You handle it. Good luck with the hard work. Baek Yu-hyun asked who the guy was. Lee Eugene pressed a hand against her face, feeling like her blood sugar was dropping from the stress. He was the very first trainee officer I ever mentored. After that bastard got poached by a corporation, he started spreading malicious rumors about the bureau. As she spoke, she pulled out a piece of fruit candy. Want one? Outside the game, Cha Sung-cheol was also very surprised to think the relationship between Lee Eugene and Choi Hyun Cheol would be displayed in such intricate detail. This is the first time we're seeing this, right? Young Na-yeon chimed in. It's my first time seeing it too. Usually they just gloss over it with a vague something bad happened between them. Cha Sung-cheol hypothesized. Due to the influence of the fully responsive AI, the storyline is now providing much deeper layers of detail. The viewers also started getting their hopes up. It would be god tier if this actually unlocks a hidden storyline. Knowing planet Earth, they might have genuinely hidden something huge here. Lee Eugene took a deep breath, forcefully calming her emotions. Enough of this depressing topic. Let's head inside. Baek Yu-hyun expressed his understanding. Following a sudden ripple of energy, Choi Hyung Cheol and his group immediately sensed it. Looks like they went in. Choi Hyung Cheol licked his lips. Then let's get to work too. Baek Yu-hyun and Lee Eugene stepped through the portal. Immediately after, another portal appeared before them. Lee Eugene explained. This was the passageway leading to Reverse Planet. Stepping through the portal on the opposite side would bring them directly into Reverse Planet. So it really was the same as that other world. But the next second, everything went wrong. The portal turned unstable. Baek Yu-hyun suspected a sudden external disruption, the kind that could collapse a passage without warning. Lee Eugene snapped her head around and shouted, "Rookie, watch out," and then she vanished. Baek Yu-hyun was thrown deep into a forest. They'd been separated. Baek Yu-hyun didn't panic. A passage collapsing from outside interference was common. He tightened his grip on his dagger, because several spiders were already blocking his path. He counted them at a glance. Kill these first, then find Lee Eugene. Elsewhere, Lee Eugene revealed her ability for the first time. Golden lightning danced across her palm. She brought her hand down, and thunder spread outward. The spiders in front of her got obliterated, their bodies severed by lightning, one step away from becoming roasted bugs. But Lee Eugene wasn't fine. That strike drained her hard, and the worst part was the swarm. Too many spiders, never ending. And the scale of this forest didn't feel small at all. It felt closer to a mid-scale inverted world. Something was wrong. Lee Eugene took a breath, praying Baek Yu-hyun was safe. She didn't notice that Choi Hyung Cheol, the rat, had already slipped in behind her. Lee Eugene's eyes widened. Too late. The ambush landed. His blade cut into her abdomen. She let out a muffled groan. He swung back with a lightning arc slash, but Choi Hyung Cheol dodged it. Confused and furious, she demanded, "Choi Hyung Cheol, why?" Choi Hyung Cheol laughed. "Who knows? Call it a secret mission. I'm just following orders. Don't hate me too much." Then his partners appeared. Lee Eugene knew this wasn't the time to talk. The wound was too deep. She had to escape first. Otherwise, she'd die here. She picked a direction and threw a guardian stone. The instant it neared its target, it transformed into a massive boulder. Boom! It detonated. One unlucky accomplice spat red. He slammed into the ground, and Lee Eugene used the opening to break past him. But Choi Hyung Cheol had come to kill her. He wasn't letting her go. He snarled, "Idiot! You can't even stop one person. Chase her." Lee Eugene sprinted like a runaway horse, blasting distance in a heartbeat. She pressed her hands together and triggered her ability again. A spear of golden lightning formed in her grasp. With a hawk-like twist, she hurled the lightning spear at the three of them. Boom! They had to stop to defend. Choi Hyong-cheol roared and screamed at his teammate. "Useless trash. Why didn't you block her?" Lee Eugene ran, scanning for somewhere to hide. A hole in the ground caught her eye. Behind her, the trio lost her trail. "Damn it, we lost her because of you." Search ahead. They didn't know Lee Eugene was hiding right behind them. The moment they left, she crawled out. "If there wasn't a centipede nest here, I'd be dead." Secret mission? What are the corporations planning? Meanwhile, Baek Yu-hyun had already cleared every monster he'd met. Chat loved it, all one-shots. He's killed dozens already. Baek Yu-hyun reached the spot where Lee Eugene had been attacked. He could sense her presence, yet only chaotic footprints remained. Something happened. Then he heard Lee Eugene's voice. Baek Yu-hyun sprinted through the woods at full speed. When he arrived, Lee Eugene was trapped, wrapped tight by a massive centipede. Chat held its breath. She's getting suppressed by bugs. Baek Yu-hyun moved. He entered perfect existence again, one hand gripping the dagger, the other bracing the pommel with his palm. In the instant he brushed past the giant centipede, its head separated from its body. Lee Eugene fell, and Baek Yu-hyun blinked under her. He caught her in a clean princess carry, the entire sequence smooth and unbroken. Baek Yu-hyun set Lee Eugene down and let her lean against a huge tree. "Are you okay?" Lee Eugene felt humiliated, but Baek Yu-hyun couldn't make sense of it. With Lee Eugene's level, there was no way a bug should have wounded her like this, especially not that deep. He examined the cut and realized immediately. This wasn't from an insect. That IT was ability inflicted. And the only awakened who would do that here was Choi H-Young-Cheol, and no doubt. The moment the anomaly hit, he must have followed them in. On stream, Young Nayeon's cheeks went weirdly red, and she felt strangely uncomfortable. "Guys, isn't this odd?" Choi Hyong-cheol wasn't supposed to strike until way later. Chat agreed. Yeah, that ambush should have been during the corporate storyline. Why is he showing up this early? Something's wrong. This is serious. Young Nayeon blamed the fully responsive AI. Cha Sung-cheol had no better answer. At this stage, that's the only guess. Hidden storyline trigger. This just got interesting, but let's keep watching. Lee Eugene panted and explained what happened. I barely shook them off, but I don't know when he'll ambush again. And if I use my ability, I risk exposing my position. Rookie, you should run. Running wasn't Baek Yu-hyun style that he told her to do emergency treatment and hide while he went to eliminate them and come back. Lee Eugene's eyes widened. No. Choi Hyong-cheol is a veteran awakened. You alone. Baek Yu-hyun cut her off, relaxed that I have a plan. Meanwhile, Choi Hyong-cheol paced along the river. They didn't know where Lee Eugene was hiding. He made a quick decision. She can't go far with that wound. Sweep this canyon straight through, I'll head down and find the target. But in the next second, he jerked an alarm. He slashed with his ability, flames blooming in the air. Baek Yu-hyun raised both hands, sweat beading. W8. Choi Hyong-cheol withdrew his ability. You're Lee Eugene's rookie? Baek Yu-hyun forced out 3 words. Thank God. Then he stuttered on purpose, gripping his hands tight. See, the passage collapsed that I got separated from senior Lee Eugene. What happened? Chat lost it. What is that acting? I'm dying. Even with privacy mode, you can tell he's GOAT level. Rest in peace, Choi Hyong-cheol. Choi Hyong-cheol patted his shoulder with a fake friendly smile. So you really don't know anything? Huh? If you want to know what's going on, take a nap and you'll see her. He flashed a twisted grin as his left hand began to activate an ability. Blood sprayed, but Baek Yu-hyun struck first. Choi Hyong-cheol froze, coughing. Why, you bastard? He never imagined someone could outact him. Chad admitted honestly, that bait was hard to defend. Choi Hyong-cheol clutched his chest and dropped to his knees. His 2 partners panicked. What? What happened? Where am I? After landing the first hit, Baek Yu-hyun vanished. The masked man rushed to Choi Hyong-cheol. Damn it. Hey, are you okay? I'll do first aid. You, go chase that bastard. The other partner bolted. Got it. He sprinted across the ground. Where the hell did he go? He didn't know Baek Yu-hyun was watching from above, perched on a massive branch like a predator. The man ran, searching. He can't be far. Where is he? Then Baek Yu-hyun appeared behind him. The man flinched. What? You scare me. Was that a bird? By the time he understood, Baek Yu-hyun's dagger was already pressed to his throat, like a ghost. Meanwhile, the masked man was performing emergency treatment. Hey, stay with me. The bleeding stopped. Once we're out, you'll be fine. He was wrong, but a dagger flew past his ear and pinned straight into Choi Hyang-cheol's heart. The masked man exploded, cursing, "You insane, filthy bastard." Now he was alone. Baek Yu-hyan stepped out in front of him. The masked man demanded, "Where's the one you chased?" Baek Yu-hyan didn't answer, but the two-handed sword in his grip said everything. He raised the blade in silence. The masked man recognized IT. IT belonged to his teammate. Whether it was fear or rage, he activated his ability. The rain of earth spikes shot toward Baek Yu-hyan. "Bastard, I'll kill you." Baek Yu-hyan barely dodged, using hands and feet to keep moving. The masked man went berserk. Not done yet. He slammed both palms into the ground. The earth began to ripple and quake. His ultimate technique, Earth Surge. Baek Yu-hyan sprinted. Under that relentless barrage, Baek Yu-hyan kicked a huge tree trunk until it snapped, using it as cover to slow the attack and shield himself as he moved. The masked man couldn't believe none of it worked. He spat, "You're a damn monster." But he still had to move. Stone-horned and jagged spike erupted right in front of Baek Yu-hyan. The attack was too sudden. Baek Yu-hyan had to dodge on instinct. He was a fraction too slow, his first real injury. A splintered tree trunk scraped his arm, drawing blood. Baek Yu-hyan surged forward anyway, but the masked man wasn't helpless. He unleashed another wave of stone spikes, shouting, "Don't come closer." Baek Yu-hyan simply adjusted the angle of his blade. A sheet of sword light flashed, swallowing every spike, shattering them into dust. At the same time, Baek Yu-hyan was already behind him. A cross slash. The masked man felt his body go light. So much blood spilled that it didn't even feel like it was all his. His eyes went wide. Impossible. Then he dropped. Baek Yu-hyan completed a triple kill. Chat was shaken. "This is insane, lol. Absolute madness. I can't even breathe watching this. I worship." Young Na-yeon was stunned. 3-on-1 with only one core factor. Cha Sung-cheol was so hyped his face turned red. Chat kept screaming, "The gap is hopeless. First mission and it's already hounds. Is this difficulty serious? My mouth won't close." Baek Yu-hyan glanced at the cut on his arm that he'd ambushed too. But that was it. Compared to the other world, he was still far behind. "Alright, let me see." He picked up Choi Hyang-cheol's phone. A message was saved. Lee Eugene and the target individual are expected to be dispatched to the inverted world. Capture alive if possible. If not, lethal force authorized. So Lee Eugene had been dragged into this because of him. He searched the bodies and found nothing else. Just that message. Disappointing. The investigation could wait for the Bureau. Still, there was loot. A sharp returning short blade. Effect 1. Slightly increases cutting power. Effect 2. After throwing, it can return to the thrower's hand. It will .pv only. Second, Victor's bracelet. Effect 1. Increases ability skill power. Effect 2. Reduces ability cooldown. .pv only. Third, Stalker's necklace. Effect 1. Enables shadow storage. Effect 2. Store or retrieve equipment anytime. .pv only. Baek Yu-hyan didn't expect the effects to be displayed outright. So, it really is a game in that other world. You had to test everything through brutal experiments. Either way, the immediate crisis was handled. Time was the real enemy. He had to clear Reverse Planet before Lee Eugene's condition worsened. Elsewhere, Lee Eugene was near despair. She couldn't believe her luck. She'd run into a boss entity, frowny face Emperor Scorpion. Of course, but maybe it was lucky that if it wasn't here, if it had gone after the rookie instead. Before she could finish the thought, the Emperor Scorpion attacked. One claw alone was bigger than several Lee Eugenes. She refused to die. She activated her ability again. Whatever the cost, she had to kill it first, survive first, consequences later. Lee Eugene looked like she'd become lightning itself. Electric screeches ripping the air. But before she could even strike, boom, the Emperor's Scorpion slammed to the ground. Lee Eugene froze. What happened? It's dead. Baek Yu-hyan's voice reached her. Are you okay? And the pose was absurdly cool. One sword on his shoulder, one foot braced on another blade that was pinned straight through the Scorpion's weak point. Lee Eugene stared. Our rookie, chat lost it. He could take a boss with that build. He already wiped normal and elite mobs and went straight to the boss. LOL. And the sky began to rip apart. Baek Yu-hyan knew the inverted world was closing. He leapt in front of Lee Eugene. Lee Eugene praised him openly. You did it. You really eliminated the hounds by yourself. Baek Yu-hyan said, not the time that we need to get out. And he offered to carry her on his back. Young Na-yeon pieced it together. Is it because the sweep was completed while the passage was collapsing, so the inverted world started closing early, before you even fully exited? Li Eugene looked embarrassed, but she still let Baek Yu-hyan carry her. She genuinely couldn't move well right now. Cha Song-cheol agreed. Exactly, which means you have to get out before it drags you in. Baek Yu-hyan told Li Eugene to hold tight. They reached the portal fast. System notice, sweep completed, +1 ability point. Level up, several pop-ups, stacked one after another. Scene change, Interdimensional Management Bureau headquarters. This time, Baek Yu-hyan faced Kim Cheol's questioning. Li Eugene was attacked by Corporate Awakened and injured. Is that true? Yes. Kim Cheol slapped his forehead. Those big corporations, they crossed the line after all. Then tightly, what about the attackers? Baek Yu-hyan answered without hesitation. Killed them. Kim Cheol was stunned. Killed them. By yourself, how? Then he remembered the first time he'd seen Baek Yu-hyan. He exhaled, accepting it. Any evidence? Baek Yu-hyan handed over Choi Hyong-cheol's phone. This is their phone. There are traces of directive messages, but the rest is encrypted. I couldn't confirm more. Kim Cheol took it. Good. Thanks to you, the investigation will go a lot smoother. We'll handle the rest. Go rest. Baek Yu-hyan stood to leave, but Kim Cheol stopped him again. This might be nosy of me, but you'll have your chance someday. Baek Yu-hyan didn't understand what he meant. Kim Cheol continued. Until then, you have to endure. Do you understand? Baek Yu-hyan didn't ask why. Following instructions was enough. Right then, system windows popped up again. First field mission completed. Level up. +1 ability point. Please choose your second core factor. Young Nayeon exclaimed. Wow. Our first field mission is finally over. Cha Song-cheol added. That was even more cinematic than I expected. The viewers must have loved it. Let's check the feedback. Wait, what? A private donation appeared. Anonymous viewer number 62, 3 million KRW. Message. Congratulations on clearing the first gate. Special mission issued. Young Nayeon immediately messaged Baek Yu-hyan and said she'd send a screenshot later. Baek Yu-hyan stared at the 3 pop-ups. Another special mission? So that's what those earlier words meant. Tell him after the stream ends. Baek Yu-hyan told Young Nayeon to push the stream flow forward. Fast. Young Nayeon was totally on it. Cha Song-cheol looked at her. Nayeon, is something wrong? Oh no, sorry. Young Nayeon was confused too. What the hell? Can't Song-cheol see the donation pop-up? It was private, but still, she decided to shelve it and keep the broadcast moving. She laughed it off. The reaction is insanely hot. Should we ride this momentum and switch to PvP? Cha Song-cheol thought it was a brilliant idea. The two bantered smoothly to transition. Last time in duels, our microcontrol god set an unbelievable streak and became the topic of the entire community. Right, so what PvP mode are we doing today? Today's PvP is Conflict Mode. Conflict Mode includes Control, Escort, Contest, and Annihilation. You get matched into one at random. Fixed 5v5 team battles, best of 3. Chat wasn't happy. Why Conflict Mode? Where are the duels? We've been waiting for the win streak. So you're dodging, admit it. Afraid the streak gets broken, so you won't queue duels? Young Nayeon expected the backlash, but a bead of sweat still formed. Just like she predicted. There were objections. Still, she believed the moment they saw the actual gameplay, minds would change. Alright, let's begin. Normal escort match found. Baek Yu-hyan's team spawned as the attackers. 5 players in front of a truck. Cha Song-cheol didn't expect escort to be the first game. Escort rules were simple. Attackers push the payload to the goal, defenders stop it. It was their first 5v5 team mode. Cha Song-cheol couldn't wait to see what the microcontrol god would do. Round 1 started. The truck began to move. The team set positions fast. 2 inside the cargo bed, 2 at the front, and Baek Yu-hyan at the rear. Then Baek Yu-hyan suddenly stopped and turned around. Cha Song-cheol jolted. Oh, he's backing up? Is he going for a flank? A flank wasn't pushing head-on. It was turning behind the enemy and ripping their defense apart. Standard play was guarding the payload. But if you had the skill, a solo flank could be brilliant, though one player stopping 5 was usually impossible. Baek Yu-hyan chained a few jumps and hit the rooftop. Chat trusted him. If it's the microcontrol god, it might actually work. It's just matchmaking, not ranked. Probably all newbies that he could do it. Others argued. How do you know they don't have some outs? From the overhead view, Baek Yu-hyan closed in at a ridiculous speed. He was about to collide with the defenders. Whoosh! He dropped from the air right over them. The dagger rose high. Clear kill intent. He snapped his wrist and threw it. The first unlucky guy got tagged, dead center in the throat. The rest froze in shock. The blonde defender's mouth fell open. What? It's a flank. Then he died too. 2 kills in the opening heartbeat. With 2 down, the remaining 3 short-circuited. What are we doing? I'll stall them. Go push the truck. Okay. They forgot Baek Yu-hyun existed, the actual Reaper. The next second, Baek Yu-hyun erased the other 3 as well. His teammates stared at the kill feed spam. W just happened. And just like that, round 1 was theirs. It was over. Chat cracked up the teammates' reactions. LMAO. I'd be stunned too. One without doing anything. If you get carried, learn gratitude. Young Na-yeon and Cha Sung-cheol were shocked. We expected him to carry, but this ended so fast it's almost disappointing. Cha Sung-cheol muttered, "Why does the pace feel insanely fast today? Like he's in a hurry." His sixth sense was scary accurate. Young Na-yeon could only laugh it off. Who knows? Let's keep watching. Then came the other 3 modes. Annihilation started, and Baek Yu-hyun opened with a lethal wipe. The defenders got deleted. Control was worse. Instant decisive clash. The enemy panicked. What is that freak? Stop him. 2 players on the roof fired abilities to block his path. Baek Yu-hyun used chain scythe and dagger like a sky ladder. 2 jumps and he was on the roof. First contact, first blood, both of them. Under perfect existence, he was simply too strong. Last was contest. Baek Yu-hyun solo capped the flag. An overwhelming 5-kill sweep that ended the game on the spot. Anonymous viewer number 62 donated another private 3 million KRW, leaving a message. Thanks for today's stream. Special mission issued. While continuing to play, unlock Reverse Planet's new system. Young Na-yeon practically took off. Another 3 million. Baek Yu-hyun again. Anonymous viewer number 62 just dropped 3 million with a message. 3 million. We should do a fan event. Go out to eat. Upgrade equipment. Baek Yu-hyun didn't care about any of that. He only cared about the message. He stared at the screenshot Young Na-yeon sent. A new system. While continuing to play. Meaning he had to keep playing non-stop. PvE or PvP. Doesn't matter. No breaks. Baek Yu-hyun closed his eyes, thinking. To drag the Puppet Master into the light. Anonymous viewer number 62. Baek Yu-hyun finally compromised. Find out I'll do it his way for now. A few days later, on the filming day for episode 3 of the Micro-Control Tour, Baek Yu-hyun arrived at the Bureau's combat training grounds. Then a message from Lee Eugene popped up. Lee Eugene, rookie because I'm injured, I can't serve as a shooter for now, I found someone to fill in. Come to the training grounds and I'll introduce you. Young Na-yeon was confused at a substitute. Who? Considering the micro-control god status, it had to be a famous instructor, right? Chat started guessing some said Kim Cheol. Others shot that down. Kim Cheol looked way too busy. Then another guess. Either Kim Hana or Jang Ho-young. The moment they met, Baek Yu-hyun saw Lee Eugene wrapped in bandages. Senior, are you feeling better? Lee Eugene waved it off. Thanks to you, but I still need someone else as a shooter for now. She looked to the side. Perfect timing. She's here. A woman approached. Hello, I'm Kim Hana. Chat exploded Kim Hana, trembling. After Lee Eugene, it's Kim Hana. I'm jealous. Bro's luck is insane. I still prefer Eugene Nuna, though. Different tastes. Baek Yu-hyun blinked. Nice to meet you, I'm Baek Yu-hyun. Kim Hana. By strength, she was the Bureau's clear number 2 after Kim Cheol. In the other world, she'd been a brutal enemy to face. Lee Eugene said, since you've greeted each other, I'll head out. I actually snuck out to come here. Kim Hana's expression flipped instantly. What? You said you had permission to leave. Lee Eugene coughed awkwardly. Ahem. Take care of the rookie for me. And she bolted. Kim Hana started flailing on the spot. Lee Eugene, stop right there. The air went awkward. Kim Hana cleared her throat. I heard you use a sword. Oh, you mainly use a long sword or a short sword? Both, Baek Yu-hyun answered. Both. Kim Hana's curiosity sharpened. She wanted to see what level he was at. Then how about a quick spar? Cha Sung-cheol jolted at the suggestion. Young Na-yeon didn't get it. Why? Cha Sung-cheol was sweating. This development is unexpected. Young Na-yeon frowned. Sparring with swords isn't weird, is it? Cha Sung-cheol explained. It is when most players aren't sword users. This kind of scene only makes sense because the micro-control god is the protagonist. Young Na-yeon went pale, sweating too. Chat got goosebumps. Wait, what? Why'd I just get chills? Right. Most builds are ability-based. Fully responsive AI, what are you? Cha Sung-cheol analyzed. Even with fully responsive AI, a fixed storyline should impose limits. But this route is completely different from a normal player's, meaning the story can branch drastically based on player behavior. Like real life. The two took their stances, tension snapping tight. Kim Hana added a condition. No abilities that let spar with swords only. Baek Yu-hyun refused. His ability was physical enhancement, a passive that was always on. Kim Hana nodded. Then I'll use a minimal amount too. The match began. Green energy rose off Kim Hana. She slashed without hesitation. Baek Yu-hyun blurred. After images streaking as he drew his blade. Bang! Their strikes collided head-on. Kim Hana slammed her right foot into the ground. With a flashy spin, she shoulder-checked Baek Yu-hyun and sent him flying. Cha Song-cheol couldn't hide it. Kim Hana really isn't someone you can underestimate. She's strong. Young Na-yeon chimed in like a practiced hype man. That looks like a Wind God-style build, right? Seeing Baek Yu-hyun momentarily disadvantaged, Kim Hana pressed the attack. No mercy. Young Na-yeon was half right and half wrong. The Wind God style existed because Kim Hana herself became its blueprint. But the nuclear body player was no joke either. He didn't lose on speed at all. Under Kim Hana's storm of strikes, Baek Yu-hyun blocked each blow at the perfect angle, every time. Chat exploded. Holy, this is real. Isn't this just a side quest? Why is it this insane? Now I want to learn swordplay, too. Even Kim Hana looked surprised. Baek Yu-hyun wasn't just fast. He was slicing into openings with terrifying precision. Her eyes narrowed. All right, I can show a bit of the real thing. Kim Hana changed in an instant, like some predator gene snapped awake. Her wooden sword stabbed to Baek Yu-hyun's face in a blink. The force ruptured the air, rippling the space with rings of energy. Kim Hana smiled coldly. I knew it that I knew you'd dodge. Behind Baek Yu-hyun, the aftermath turned into rubble. The feed flooded. LMAO, Kim Hana is Kim Hana. Even the nuclear body player can't beat her. He's only unlocked 2 core factors. One more, and they'll be even. He might be stronger. Kim Hana looked genuinely satisfied with Baek Yu-hyun's performance. Baek Yu-hyun thanked her. Yet inside, he calculated. In real combat, his win rate would be under 20%. Compared to the other world, he was still far behind. Kim Hana asked, "Who taught you your swordsmanship?" Baek Yu-hyun answered calmly, "Self-taught." Kim Hana nodded. "If you reach this level by yourself, that's good. Come with me. I want to show you something." Pop up. Mission complete. Sparring with Kim Hana. Level up, level up, level up. The two arrived at a place that looked like an armory. It was the Bureau's arsenal, weapons of every kind. A chubby man approached. The higher-ups said Mr. Baek Yu-hyun seems to need a weapon that suits him. He was Kim Hyun-woo, the support and logistics team lead. Kim Hana nodded. "Yes, there are standard-issued weapons, but there's no reason to keep using plain white gear with no special effects." Kim Hyun-woo bowed. "Take your time. When you've chosen, come out. I'll excuse myself." Kim Hana said, "All right, pick carefully." Baek Yu-hyun scanned the racks. Nothing better than expected. That one is decent. In front of him was a spear, the blood-drinking spear Dragos. Effect 1. Increased blade cutting power. Effect 2. Absorbs blood on the blade to restore stamina. Effect 3. Grants control over blood. Baek Yu-hyun was about to choose it when he froze. Soul Devourer. A plain-looking two-handed sword. The spirit-slaying sword, Soul Devourer. Effect 1. Cannot be destroyed. Effect 2. Cutting power increases with the number of souls devoured, currently 0. Effect 3. Restores stamina equal to a percentage of damage dealt by Soul Devourer. Effect 4. Sealed. Effect 5. Sealed.pve only. Baek Yu-hyun couldn't understand it. This weapon was supposed to be on the black market. Why was it here? Unless it had originally been stored by the Bureau and later secretly sold out. That was the only explanation. And yet, he never expected to see an old companion from the other world here, that he lifted Soul Devourer, so tall it looked bigger than him. Kim Hana raised a brow. "You're choosing that?" "Yes, that one." Kim Hana studied him. "A two-handed sword, interesting." She said she'd arrange the ownership transfer. Baek Yu-hyun stroked the blade, unwilling to let go. Young Na-yeon was stunned. What is this?" At this stage, weapons usually have only 2 lines. Chat also complained, how is a 5-line weapon showing up this early? And it rolled god-tier stats across the board. When I went to the arsenal, nothing like that existed. The viewers also found it unreasonable. How could a 5-attribute weapon appear this early, and with random attributes, yet all of them top tier? When they visited the Bureau's arsenal, that kind of item simply didn't exist. Episode 13. At that moment, a viewer named Chocolate Stack treated the stream with a 1001 donation and commented, "If all seals are unlocked, it feels like an endgame weapon." Baek Yu-hyun was already used to IT at IN fact. This wasn't the first time the nuclear body player had obtained a pre-release version of gear. The Stalker's necklace acquired in the last live stream was originally meant to drop much later in the story. Upon his remark, viewers remembered. Indeed, they were so focused on the hidden plot that they had forgotten about the equipment. The first sweep already produced the hounds, who had time to care about gear. Those who understood got it. Reverse Planet's risk-reward system is very clear. Higher difficulty means better rewards. Because the first sweep eliminated the hounds, the Stalker's necklace could be obtained, correct, and combined with the nuclear body player escaping the research lab. Down to the sparring with Kim Ha-na, everything was perfectly achieved. Exactly. Baek Yu-hyan had always dominated, so the spirit-slaying sword, Soul Devourer, was a reward for him. This theory made a lot of sense, though it was still hypothetical for now. Either way, they would just continue watching. Kim Ha-na said, "I heard the ownership transfer has been completed." Baek Yu-hyan expressed his gratitude. Since he had a new weapon, to practice a bit, they decided to sweep the area. Kim Ha-na was true to her battle-crazy nature. They were in a continuous mountain range. Neither expected a portal at the summit. This warm-up was perfectly arranged. It turned out the guard hadn't lied, that he said the portal was just a bit further, yet that bit turned out to be the mountain peak. They were told just a tiny walk was enough. In any case, this area was frequented by wolf-type invasive entities. They were small-scale beasts with a low danger rating. Wolves are pack animals. These guys fiercely defend their territory and would quickly swarm them. Baek Yu-hyan closed his eyes. That wolf-type, tougher than insect types, but anything below B rank was roughly the same. That IT saved him the effort of searching. Kim Ha-na said she would not intervene unless things became critical. For now, she would just watch nearby and cheer Baek Yu-hyan on. Baek Yu-hyan summoned the spirit-slaying sword, Soul Devourer from Shadow Storage. A sudden howl echoed from the mountains. Baek Yu-hyan knew they were coming. He immediately entered perfect existence. Facing the oncoming wolf pack, Baek Yu-hyan readied his stance. As the wolves approached, he swung the two-handed sword. The first strike was full force. The spirit-slaying sword, Soul Devourer, drew an arcing blade of aura. The wolves instantly began bleeding out. The next second, the spirit-slaying sword, Soul Devourer, transformed. A bloodline lit up along the center of the blade. Its cutting power surged instantly. Viewers were thrilled. Wow, this is the good stuff? Perfect 10 out of 10. Young Na-yeon's jaw dropped. Dash that massive greatsword. He swings it as lightly as a feather. Baek Yu-hyan didn't know how to respond. It turned out a viewer named Cha Sung-chul one donated 50,000 won, commenting, "Incredible microcontrol skills." Baek Yu-hyan was pleased with the feel of the spirit-slaying sword, Soul Devourer. It truly felt completely different from any other weapon. Kim Ha-na, however, was shocked by his swing. Is this the celestial moon slash? She felt Baek Yu-hyan was becoming increasingly mysterious. At this moment, Baek Yu-hyan cleared the first wave of wolves with a single strike. But that wasn't all. Several large wolves crackling with arcs of electricity appeared, clearly hostile. Cha Sung-chul broke into a cold sweat. Elite monsters already spawned? Young Na-yeon hadn't expected the clearing speed to be this fast. The wolf pack launched another fierce assault. Baek Yu-hyan wielded his sword like he owned the world, swinging the spirit-slaying sword, Soul Devourer, with absolute force. Cha Sung-chul was once again stunned. Where did he learn that kind of martial art? It reminded him of what Kim Ha-na had called the celestial moon slash. Young Na-yeon, as Baek Yu-hyan's close friend, was also shocked. As far as she knew, Baek Yu-hyan never studied sports. There was only one possibility. The arena. Baek Yu-hyan dispatched another wolf. The two-handed sword in his hands seemed alive, or rather, a part of his own body. A devoted arena fan donated 1,000 won, commenting, "Arena training method. Who could even survive that?" Baek Yu-hyan sprang into the air with a sharp tap of his toes. His grip on the two-handed sword looked highly peculiar. With one hand on the pommel and the other gripping the crossguard, he drove the spirit-slaying sword, Soul Devourer, deep into the wolf's vital spot. Kim Ha-na was completely dumbfounded. "Well, this isn't just excellent," she added, "it's basically God of War level." At that moment, 3 identical system windows popped up. The spirit-slaying sword, Soul Devourer's cutting power had increased. Just then, Baek Yu-hyan's gaze sharpened. Even the air seemed to tremble. He immediately assumed a defensive stance. Something massive was approaching. Otherwise, he wouldn't have reacted this way. The next second, a giant wolf with eyes like lanterns lunged forward. T.O.it. Baek Yu-hyan looked like a mere snack. Goodness. It was a boss entity, the Silver Wolf. The Silver Wolf instantly sank its teeth into his spirit-slaying sword, Soul Devourer. Cha Sung-chul watched, his heart racing. A boss entity has appeared. With its size and speed, it's notorious for being a newbie reaper. Dust rolled out continuously as it attacked. The microcontrol god managed to block, but he was overpowered in sheer strength. But this scene was definitely screenshot-worthy. Baek Yu-hyan grabbed the Silver Wolf's massive fawn with one hand, gripping its gums with the other, gathering his strength. He let out a loud roar, violently snapping one of the wolf's teeth off and tossing it aside. The silver wolf howled in agony. From the missing tooth gap, a torrent of red spray spurted out. Baek Yu-hyen swung his sword again, gripping the hilt with both hands this time. It's definitely much stronger than elite monsters, but if this is its limit, he unleashed another strike that a white line literally cleaved through the air, and the silver wolf was split cleanly in two. Having devoured the boss entity's soul, the spirit-slaying sword, Soul Devourer's cutting power, surged yet again. The ground trembled heavily, caused purely by the massive silver wolf crashing down. Kim Han-ah couldn't help but marvel as expected of the Interdimensional Management Bureau's most highly anticipated trainee. Honestly, I hesitated to intervene because the boss entity was much stronger than its initial assessment level. Young Na-yun was also losing her calm on the stream. Exactly. Didn't they say it was an F plus D plus difficulty at the start? This has to be at least B rank, right? Cha Sung-cheol frowned. The measurement standard is really strange. Perhaps it's not just the mission content, but even the difficulty dynamically scales based on player behavior. The viewers loved the chaos that SO clearing hard missions increases the overall difficulty. He literally created his own helm mode. The microcontrol gods missions definitely look exceptionally brutal. Of course, this was just speculation. But then again, after killing the boss entity, why hasn't Reverse Planet closed? Whatever secret lies behind this would soon be revealed. Baek Yu-hyen was also confused. Senior, what is this? Kim Han-ah replied, yes, this is clearly an anomaly. Follow me. We need to investigate the cause. But the very next second, Kim Han-ah gasped in shock. What is that? Right in front of them, resting in a nest on the ground, was a giant egg. What they absolutely didn't expect was for the giant egg to suddenly start cracking. Golden light immediately burst forth. Both assumed combat stances that we don't know what's going to come out, be careful. But the next second, an incredibly cute little puppy appeared. It even started running circles around them. Both were utterly baffled that a puppy? The viewers went wild. What the heck? Is it some kind of pet? At least I've never seen anything like it before. Reverse Planet shouldn't have a pet system, right? Kim Han-ah found it extremely strange that IT truly is an anomaly, an interdimensional creature with absolutely no hostility towards humans. She had barely finished speaking when the puppy trotted over and sniffed at Baek Yu-hyen's feet. But Baek Yu-hyen remained entirely indifferent. Should I kill it? Kim Han-ah stroked her chin. Although on principle all interdimensional creatures are to be terminated, it's unusually cute. This is a special case. It's best we take it back to the research lab for analysis. Hearing this, Baek Yu-hyen effortlessly picked it up with one hand. He then returned the spirit-slaying sword, Soul Devourer, to shadow storage. The space was beginning to collapse now. They needed to get out fast. Interdimensional Management Bureau headquarters. Inside a medical research lab, a doctor stared at the test results in his hands, completely baffled. This is the first time we've ever encountered a case like this. The research shows that this creature is not an interdimensional life form. If it's not an interdimensional life form, perhaps it's a summoned entity created through abilities. Kim Han-ah found it strange. But neither of us possess summoning abilities, do we? The doctor shared his theory that IT likely wasn't caused by either of you, but rather originated from Reverse Planet itself, though further research is required. Kim Han-ah asked, so, we'll be protected by the Interdimensional Management Bureau from now on. The doctor couldn't give a straight answer about that. Right then, the little creature rubbed its head affectionately against Baek Yu-hyen, apparently completing its master imprint. According to regulations, imprinted life forms cannot be kept under Bureau protection. Kim Han-ah was shocked. It's already imprinted. At that exact moment, a system window popped up. Lightning Wolf has been successfully registered as a pet. Baek Yu-hyen was genuinely stunned that a pet. At that exact moment, a system window suddenly popped up. Emergency maintenance notice that TO implement a server update. Maintenance will begin in 5 minutes. All players must move to a safe location and disconnect immediately. Baek Yu-hyen had no idea what was going on, but it felt like every single update was specifically targeting him. Back in the studio, Young Na-yun also received the alert. Everyone, what in the world is going on? He just acquired a completely unheard of pet, and suddenly there's a global update notice. They can say it's random, but this is way too much of coincidence, right? Cha Sung-cheol clearly didn't buy it either. There was definitely some hidden trick at play here. Right then, a viewer named Seaweed Roll donated 1,001 and commented, Reverse Planet's very first pet world debut. Ha! Even faster than the official update, haha. Young Nayeon wasn't foolish. She immediately connected the dots to Baek Yu-hyun. Could it be that the game initiated an emergency update purely because the microcontrol god found a pet? But the viewers disagreed this time, that it's just a coincidence. Don't overthink it. But the timing is seriously uncanny. It feels exactly like the fully responsive AI situation. The developers aren't even watching this live stream. How could they possibly coordinate an update with it? What they didn't know was that a woman's sixth sense is terrifyingly accurate. Well, we'll see the details later. That concludes today's live stream. See you all next time, everyone. With that, the two disconnected and logged off. Immediately, the screen went black, displaying the status, currently offline. Please look forward to the next broadcast. Go watch another stream. But unexpectedly, there actually were people watching their live stream from a high-level conference room. This was the exact problematic broadcast they were watching, and this place was the planet Earth headquarters. The woman sitting at the head of the table rubbed her temples in frustration. Speaking of this microcontrol god, isn't he the same player who discovered the fully responsive AI that even we didn't know existed? A man nearby replied, "Yes, we've been closely monitoring him." Hearing this, veins bulged on the woman's forehead. This is a massive system update that even the core development team was kept in the dark about. This gave her a massive headache. Her name was Sophia, the lead developer of Reverse Planet. The man slammed his hand on the table. "Lead, you should know as well as I do, the only person capable of pulling something like this off is Isaac." Isaac, the former head of development and the absolute genius behind Reverse Planet, who is currently missing. Sophia bit her fingernail. That total freaked out as, oh, he really did go off the grid on his own. Even so, I never expected him to arbitrarily shut down the live servers just to push his own update. She then asked, "And what about Deus?" A man with a buzz cut replied, "We've been constantly trying to awaken it, but it remains completely unresponsive." Deus was the ultimate AI that Isaac had created specifically to assist in developing the game. When Isaac vanished, Deus ceased all operations as well. Sophia issued her orders, "Start digging immediately." Are there any other hidden update files we don't know about? If a situation like this happens again, we'll be in serious trouble. The buzzcut man remained realistic. Can we even find them? If Isaac is dead set on hiding them, this, Sophia showed her ruthless side, that we must find them, no matter the cost. Furthermore, classify the microcontrol god as a special class management target. In case anything else happens, we need to be able to take immediate action. I want his live streams monitored in real time. Understood. Sophia made a firm decision. Isaac, I have no idea what the hell you're plotting, but I absolutely refuse to let things play out according to your plan. Isaac was like an invisible black hand, quietly manipulating everything from the shadows. If they actually knew about Baek Yu-hyun's 10 years of hellish experience, they would probably be too terrified to ever sleep again. At that moment, Anonymous Viewer 62 donated 5 million won, attaching a message. Well done. This is the reward for completing this special mission. For the next special mission, you will need a reliable companion. In a downtown cafe, Baek Yu-hyun stared at the screenshot on his phone. This is Anonymous Viewer 62. He had absolutely no idea what kind of trick this guy was trying to pull. And whether it was in the other world or this one, he only ever received special missions strictly related to the core system itself. That left only one possible candidate. IT had to be a developer closely tied to the system, or at the very least an insider. Young Nayeon, seeing him staring silently at his phone, brought it up. So, about that Anonymous Viewer 62. Could be someone from the game company. I mean, the absolute second you found that pet, the game instantly triggered a massive emergency update. But Baek Yu-hyun still refused to believe it, stubbornly retorting that IT has to be just a coincidence. Why would the game company bother watching a regular player stream? Then, feeling slightly exposed, he quickly changed the subject. Never mind that. What was the big news you mentioned in your text? Young Nayeon replied, "Oh, that. The SSR Cup formally invited you to be a coach." The SSR Cup.AS, the absolute largest reverse planet PvP tournament in South Korea. It usually only invited high-profile solo streamers, famous influencers, or former pro gamers to participate. A bead of cold sweat rolled down Baek Yu-hyun's face. Why would a tournament like that want me? And, as a coach, no less. Young Nayeon quickly explained, "Isn't it obvious? You're the absolute center of attention right now. Besides, the SSR Cup has an official support coach position. They probably figured that with your godlike skill level, you're much better suited to be a coach than a mere competitor. Why don't you take this chance to participate and show off your coaching abilities?" Baek Yu-hyun found her logic sound. If I'm a coach, does that mean I have to train disciples? Exactly. If you decide to do it, I'll handle all the preparations. Hosting a public audition to select disciples wouldn't be a bad idea either. For the next special mission, You will need a reliable companion. Thinking of this line, Baek Yu-hyun decided to just go for it. Young Na-yeon jumped up in sheer excitement. Really? I'm so glad you thought it through. This is going to be a massive boost for our live stream too. I need to send the acceptance email right now before you change your mind. Young Na-yeon was so incredibly busy, she wished she could borrow a few extra hands from the viewers. A few days later, on the day of Baek Yu-hyun's live stream. Hello fellow hackers. Hello everyone. It's great to see you all. Young Na-yeon then started building the hype. Today, before we officially start the stream, I have a massive announcement to make. Our very own microcontrol god will be participating in the SSR Cup as a coach. This news left the viewers absolutely stunned. Holy shit, that's fucking awesome. But wait, why is he going as a coach instead of a player? To match the microcontrol god skill level, they'd at least have to invite top-tier players like Battler or Andres that I heard Consoriol is entering as a competitor. Of course, some people focus on entirely different details. Wait. Don't tell me the streamer made that promotional image herself? Cha Sung-cheol also shared his perspective. Being a god at the game and being a good teacher are two entirely different things that I'm genuinely curious to see what the microcontrol god's coaching skills look like. You're absolutely right. Baek Yu-hyun stated that since his current ranks were still relatively low, he planned to focus entirely on ranking up today. With that, he began doing some light warm-up stretches. Cha Sung-cheol thought this was a fantastic idea. If you're going to be a coach, you definitely need to grind your rank as high as possible so you actually look the part. The viewers recalled that Baek Yu-hyun was currently sitting at gold rank across all 3 game modes. Cha Sung-cheol immediately corrected them. To be precise, he is gold in duels, gold in conflict mode, and completely unranked in survival mode. That's the current status. Young Na-yeon added that he played duo queue with me in survival mode previously and we snagged a 10-win streak. So he can jump straight into ranked matches now. Right then, a viewer posted a custom bounty mission. Win a survival mode match without using any weapons, while securing at least 40 kills. Reward is 3 million won. Both Cha Sung-cheol and Young Na-yeon dropped their jaws. The boss is absolutely insane, huh? We have to accept this. A massive bounty right on the very first match. This is going to be incredibly fun, haha. Young Na-yeon immediately forwarded the mission details to Baek Yu-hyun. We got a hardcore challenge here. Getting 40 kills in survival mode without a single weapon. Is that even possible? The viewers absolutely loved the chaos. This is exactly what we want. Is this setting the stage for a failed mission right out the gate? If he actually pulls this off, it's going to be another legendary clip. But in the very next second, Baek Yu-hyun accepted the mission. Could he really secure 40 kills with his bare hands? We're about to find out. Match found immediately. The location was the Area 1 military base. By the looks of it, Baek Yu-hyun had been teleported to the absolute outskirts. He was actually a little surprised by the spawn. Through his sensory perception, he detected exactly 19 people in his immediate vicinity. To hit 40 kills, it seemed he needed to move fast. He lightly tapped his toes on the ground, shifting into a sprinter's starting stance. Then, with a sharp whoosh, he vanished from his spot. His afterimages flickered everywhere across the base. Wherever he passed, a player was brutally eliminated, and it was always a one-hit kill. The players simply couldn't withstand a single punch from him. Both Young Na-yeon and Cha Sung-cheol were utterly speechless. They knew Baek Yu-hyun would be fine, but this speed was just too absurd. Is this even physically possible for a human? The viewers went completely feral. What the actual fuck is this? It's so fast it's literally making me dizzy. Why eyes can't even track him. This was followed by a relentless barrage of system pop-ups as Baek Yu-hyun flooded the kill feed once again. Looking at his feet, it was obvious those kills were achieved almost instantaneously. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had to skid over 10 meters across the ground just to bring himself to a halt. He had secured 18 kills in a single, unbroken breath. Since the outskirts were mostly cleared out, he figured it was time to check out the central zone. He didn't even pause to catch his breath. Watching this, Cha Sung-cheol felt his soul leave his body. Maybe I should just uninstall the game. Time flew by, and soon, out of the initial 100 players, only 2 remain alive. A player wearing a cloak sat completely still, quietly waiting for Baek Yu-hyun to come to him. In the very next second, Baek Yu-hyun materialized right behind him. He raised his long leg high into the air, clearly intending to send the cloak player straight to the lobby with an axe kick. But the cloak player was completely prepared. He dodged in a flash, and the ground was instantly pulverized, sending shattered rocks flying everywhere. The viewers exploded. Whoa, he actually dodged that. What kind of reaction speed is this? Is this the literal physical manifestation of a cheat code? Here go the cheat accusing parrots again. The cloaked player had to skid backward for over 10 meters just to stabilize his footing. He then tightly clenched his fists. Damn, another unassisted player. And by the looks of it, his strength was nothing to scoff at. This was something even Baek Yu-hyan probably hadn't anticipated. As the two locked eyes, the tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. Cha Sung-cheol exclaimed in surprise. Wait, is this? It looks like he's a physical enhancement player. Just like the physical hack bro Yung Na-yeon had also never seen a situation like this before. You're right. And looking at this player's kill count, he's definitely not simple. Looking at the statistics, up to this point, he had secured a total of 15 kills. Whoa, he actually got 15 kills? Haha. Wait, is that considered a lot? It's mainly because the physical hack bro is just too abnormal. Breaking 10 kills is already considered professional tier. Usually, managing to get 5 kills is already pretty damn good. With 39 kills already under his belt, could Baek Yu-hyan actually achieve the legendary 40-kill milestone? With that thought, he vanished from his spot. This was the very first time the two clashed face-to-face. Baek Yu-hyan threw a punch so hard it literally shattered the air. But the cloak player was no pushover either. His counterattack arrived exactly as expected. Baek Yu-hyan firmly blocked the strike with his arm. Using the momentum, he leaped into the air, preparing to deliver a kick. The cloak player was sent sliding backward from the force of the kick. It was obvious that neither side had managed to gain the upper hand in this first round. Refusing to back down, the cloaked player clenched his fists once more, preparing for another assault. Cha Sung-cheol offered his commentary. This offensive and defensive exchange is absolutely incredible. Their movements rival those of professional martial artists. Yung Na-yeon was equally shocked. What exactly is that guy's background? The viewers were absolutely losing their minds over this. Whoa, what the hell is happening? Haha, this is the first time I've ever seen the physical hack bro get pushed back like this. That he's some kind of amateur hermit master, or maybe he's an actual pro player. What are you talking about? How could there possibly be a pro player at this rank? It might just be a pro player smuffing on alt account. Baek Yu-hyan internally noted that his opponent's movements were actually pretty decent. Then, the two of them vanished from their spots once again. The cloak player's strike missed completely, whereas Baek Yu-hyan's attacks always seemed to find their mark with pinpoint accuracy. But what was even more baffling was that Baek Yu-hyan didn't clench his fist. Instead, he extended his palm flat. Was he preparing some kind of secret technique? In the very next second, he rapidly clenched his fist. It's about time to end this. Holy shit, is that the 1-inch punch? Concentrating all of his explosive power into a single, instantaneous point. The cloak player was blasted with such force that he instantly vanished from the spot. He was left sitting awkwardly on the ground. Just as I thought, using an unfamiliar style really doesn't cut it. That was a thoroughly enjoyable fight. Let's have a proper duel next time. With that, his figure slowly began to fade away. Baek Yu-hyan was visibly puzzled by this. Next time, what exactly did this guy mean by that? And with that, the match officially ended. Baek Yu-hyan secured the final victory, successfully achieving the legendary 40-kill milestone just as he intended. Cha Sung-cheol announced the successful completion of the mission. Yung Na-yeon called out in pure excitement. Dus. The viewer who posted the mission earlier, are you still there? In response, Dus immediately tipped 3 million won. Thank you so much for your massive donation. Holy shit, 3 million won, that's absolutely insane. Madness, sheer madness. Boss, if it's not too much trouble, could you spare a popsicle for me? I wouldn't even mind a burger, hee hee. At this point, Yung Na-yeon had nothing but dollar signs in her eyes. Alright, let's ride this massive momentum and keep pushing our rank higher. The viewers noticed the slightly crazed look in her eyes, which only hyped them up even more. And just like that, Baek Yu-hyan secured a staggering 98 consecutive wins that day, successfully reaching the master rank across all game modes. Meanwhile, in a certain household, two siblings were scrolling through their phones. The girl was hugging a small chick plushie. They were currently browsing the Reverse Planet forums. The very first pin post was the announcement for Baek Yu-hyan's Disciple Selection Tournament that it seemed the siblings were highly interested in the event. The girl suddenly spoke up. Hey little bro, did you see the physical hack bro's Disciple Selection notice? We should sign up and give it a shot. Her name was Yung Arium, and she was a professional gaming streamer. I already signed up ages ago. And for the record, I'm the older brother. His name was Yung Da-woon, and he was also a professional gaming streamer. You sure moved fast. But it would have been nice if you'd signed your big sister up while you were at it, you're right. I should have taken better care of my little sister. It seemed this was the eternal struggle of boy-girl twins, both of them constantly fighting to be recognized as the older sibling. At that exact moment, Sophia was also closely monitoring Baek Yu-hyan. Displayed on her screen was Special Notice 1, that all-time highest kill record in survival mode. achieved via a massive bounty mission from viewer DUS.2 survivors remained at the external third-party programs detected. Special notice too that a preview of an upcoming disciple training event. The name DUS sent a visible jolt of shock through Sophia. A few days later, just 5 minutes before the livestream was set to begin, Baek Yu-hyun stared at the lightning wolf resting in his hands. He noticed it only had 3 basic skills: bite, howl, and roll. But what use were these skills anyway? Baek Yu-hyun really couldn't care less. Young-neon also felt it lacked any special utility that it just felt like the standard pets other players obtained. And to think they previously suspected it caused the emergency update. Right now, Baek Yu-hyun was only looking forward to a good fight. Oh, right, about the disciple selection process, that we got way too many applicants. So Cha Sung-chul and I went ahead and shortlisted a batch of candidates. Could you take a look at them later when you have time? Until we finalize the candidates, we'll just stick to PvE content. She was sporting a brand new outfit today. Cha Sung-chul chimed in from the side to remind her. Miss Young-naeun, the live stream is about to start. Young-naeun quickly replied, I have to go now. I'll give you the signal. And you start immediately. Baek Yu-hyun looked down at the lightning wolf. Let's just send it back home for now. The lightning wolf was busy acting cute. Baek Yu-hyun stared at it in complete silence, his thoughts entirely unreadable. Then, the live stream officially commenced. Suddenly, Baek Yu-hyun's expression shifted to pure shock. Several urgent alerts had just come in from the Interdimensional Management Bureau. Today at approximately 13:21, a reverse planet rampage incident occurred in the vicinity of Yongsan Family Park, Yongsan-dong, Yongsan District, Seoul Special City. Today at approximately 13:22, in the vicinity of Surisan Mountain, Jangsa-dong, Namdong District, Incheon Metropolitan City. Today at approximately 13:22, in Busan Metropolitan City. Cha Sung-chul was equally horrified that this is a large-scale rampage incident. My God, how did a situation like this unfold so quickly? The viewers completely lost their minds. What the hell is the plot building up to? At this rate, the actual invaders are going to breach through. Since it's a rampage incident, it means the other world is officially intervening. So the guy above is probably right on the money. A reverse planet rampage occurs when the other world actively corrupts the reverse planet where the captured invaders are imprisoned, triggering a violent surge. Once a rampage happens, the invasive entities cross over to the real world and initiate an attack. Baek Yu-hyun deeply furrowed his brows. The dimensional war finally starting to escalate? Right at that moment, a system window popped up. Mission: respond to the large-scale rampage incident. Please eliminate the invasive entities to bring the outbreak under control. Just then, Kim Hana waved at Baek Yu-hyun and called out, Junior. Baek Yu-hyun thought to himself that Hana, it feels like it's been ages since I saw her. But why does it feel like our senior and junior roles have been completely reversed? Is it just me who feels that way? Kim Hana was as energetic as ever. I've already got the vehicle ready. Let's move out. The two of them arrived at an invasion site, only to find the ground littered with goblin corpses. Looks like we're a step too late. Baek Yu-hyun genuinely hadn't expected goblins to be the ones showing up. It seems the agents who arrived first already took care of them. Those guys specialize in tracking, so they're probably busy chasing down the fleeing civilians right now. Kim Hana then turned to Baek Yu-hyun. With your level of skill, operating solo is absolutely no problem, but let's split up and handle this. Baek Yu-hyun indicated that he was completely fine with that. Without hesitation, Kim Hana began moving out. See you later then. Baek Yu-hyun figured it was time for him to get moving too. Alright, where should I start first? Just then, a voice reached his ears that didn't come any closer. A few goblins were currently chasing down a terrified girl at top speed. In the very next second, a chain scythe materialized out of thin air. It struck the top of one goblin's head with pinpoint accuracy. In a flash, Baek Yu-hyun pinned another goblin to the ground with his foot while simultaneously retracting the chain scythe. The final goblin charged at him right as the chain scythe swung back. The girl covered her head in absolute terror. With a swift flash of the blade, the final goblin was instantly sent to the afterlife. All three goblins had been utterly annihilated by him in a single, fluid motion. The viewers were completely blown away by this mechanical display. Whoa, if you didn't know any better, you'd think that Chain Scythe was possessed by a ghost. Fun fact, the Hardcore Bros Chain Scythe and storyline have actually gone viral overseas too. What the guy above said is 100% true. The rescued girl, trembling from head to toe, asked him, excuse me, but who are you? Baek Yu-hyun replied, I'm an agent with the Interdimensional Management Bureau. Just follow the path down this way, and you should be safe. The girl turned and ran as instructed. Thank you so much, Baek Yu-hyun cast a brief glance at her retreating back. Trap civilians. Was she the last one? If this keeps up, there'll be no end to it. I need to take out their leader as fast as possible. In the very next second, a red-skinned goblin wielding a weapon prepared to launch a sneak attack. Baek Yu-hyun had already sensed the ambush. He executed a smooth slide tackle to dodge it. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. He then forcefully hurled the chain scythe in his hand. However, the red goblin actually managed to deflect it with its own weapon. Baek Yu-hyun was genuinely a little surprised. Suddenly, he noticed a dark silhouette hiding deep within the forest. Who was that? The red goblin wasn't about to give him the time to investigate, roaring as it charged straight at him. For a brief moment, the goblin actually seemed to have the upper hand. The viewers couldn't stay calm. What the hell is going on? Why is the hardcore bro only defending? Young Na-yeon was equally confused. What is happening? Why isn't he fighting back? Exactly. It looks like he isn't even looking at his opponent. He keeps staring off somewhere else. Baek Yu-hyun withstood the flurry of attacks and spoke to the shadow in the forest. If you're just planning to stand there and watch the show, then I'm not holding back anymore. At that moment, the goblin managed to brutally sever the chain of the chain scythe. But in the very next second, the goblin let out a blood-curdling scream. Baek Yu-hyun's counterattack had landed flawlessly, bringing the red goblin's life to an abrupt end. Beautiful. That's exactly how it should be done. So satisfying to watch. However, Baek Yu-hyun's gaze remained entirely fixed on the dark silhouette in the forest. He stared dead straight at the shadow. Then he finally spoke. Come out. Holy shit. That wasn't a goblin at all. It was a dimensional invader. It had a humanoid appearance, but clearly belonged to the otherworld. They were also known as demons or otherworlders. The chat absolutely exploded. Holy fuck. An actual invader just showed up. Is this for real? Honestly, this is the first time I've ever seen an invader in the game. Young Na-yeon was also incredibly shocked. An invader is actually appearing at this point in time. Usually, you barely manage to see one or two of them toward the later half of the storyline. The hardcore bros PV progression is truly beyond imagination. The moment the dimensional invader stepped out, it immediately assumed a combat stance. Although Baek Yu-hyun had seen all sorts of unexpected situations, an invader making an entrance quite like this was a first. Since that was how it was going to be, he also shifted into a combat stance. I'll play along then. A massive battle was on the verge of erupting. Baek Yu-hyun took the initiative and charged at his opponent first. With every single step he took, the surrounding air vibrated. Baek Yu-hyun threw a devastating punch. The dimensional invader also threw a heavy punch in response. But the invader's strike was effortlessly dodged by Baek Yu-hyun. Cha Sung-cheol noticed something peculiar. I don't know why, but doesn't this scene kind of remind you of the final match in the survival mode game from last time? Young Na-yeon was a bit doubtful. Really? I mean, doesn't all barehanded combat look pretty much the same? But still, are invaders originally this naturally skilled at close quarters combat? It turned out Baek Yu-hyun had merely been testing the waters just now. Now he was absolutely certain. This bastard was definitely mimicking his movements. Back in the other world, in an attempt to kill him after he turned the research lab upside down, someone had specifically engineered a special Edenel modeled entirely after him. At that moment, the invader threw another heavy punch, but Baek Yu-hyun already had a countermeasure prepared. With a single hand, he clamped down hard on the invader's skull. Such a pathetic imitation is just painfully obvious. In the very next second, Baek Yu-hyun slammed the invader into the ground, grinding its face into the dirt. The sheer force was so immense that the solid ground completely shattered beneath them. The viewers actually started feeling a bit of sympathy for the invader. Just watching that hurts. This invader is getting absolutely demolished. Well, if you feel so bad, why don't you go take those hits for it? Baek Yu-hyun raised his fist high into the air once again, and then he unleashed a merciless barrage of punches straight into the invader. This was exactly identical to what the research lab from the other world had done. Who the hell is pulling the strings behind this? Could it be the corporate alliance? Or is it someone from the invader side? Then, a truly terrifying possibility crossed his mind. What the invader had just mimicked wasn't his PvE fighting style. It was his PvP combat style. If that was the case, then the culprit was definitely someone capable of completely interfering with the game's core system in every possible way. The very same person who had trapped him inside this game for 10 agonizing years. Anonymous Viewer 62. It's that bastard again. Just then, a voice reached his ears. Junior, have you finished clearing out your side yet? It was Kim Hana. Yes, I've already taken care of it. The chat found this absolutely hilarious. Talk about arriving late, haha. This is a classic movie trope. Aren't the cops always supposed to show up only after the fight? is completely over? As Kim Hana walked closer, she gasped in shock. Huh? Is this an invader? Shiva started stuttering, clearly caught completely off guard. And on top of that, it was a leader-class entity. She immediately pulled out her radio. We have a deceased invader here. Please dispatch a cleanup crew immediately and scan the perimeter to confirm if there are any other invaders lurking nearby. After issuing the orders, she finally let out a long sigh of relief. You really work hard. It seems I didn't misjudge you. Leaving this area to you was definitely the right call. Baek Yu-hyan replied calmly. You worked hard too, senior. But what about the situation in the other areas? Kim Hana answered. The situation in the other areas seems to have stabilized. Anyway, let's evacuate as soon as the cleanup crew arrives. System notification. Mission, respond to the large-scale rampage incident, has been completed. Level up. You have acquired 1 ability point. Interdimensional Management Bureau Headquarters. Baek Yu-hyan had practically become a regular visitor here by now. I heard you were looking for me? Kim Cheol said. It's nothing else, just regarding the invader you managed to capture this time. I conducted a thorough investigation, and it is completely different from any invader we've encountered so far. It wouldn't even be an exaggeration to call it an entirely different species. That's why I wanted to hear a detailed account of the situation from you. Was there anything particularly unusual about it? There was. First of all, that leader-class entity. Baek Yu-hyan proceeded to describe the entire course of the battle in detail. Kim Cheol was visibly shocked. That thing actually tried to mimic you? The viewers also sparked a heated discussion over this. So it really was imitating him. Exactly. The hardcore bro fought it himself. There's no way he wouldn't realize it. But why is Kim Cheol reacting so seriously to this? Right? Why is his reaction so extreme? It seems the fact that the invaders can learn to mimic is a much bigger deal than we thought. Is this signaling the start of a brand new storyline? Very likely. Kim Cheol's expression turned incredibly grim. Throughout all of recorded history, there has never been a single instance of an invader mimicking a human. If they change their invasion strategy and begin disguising themselves as humans, we will be virtually powerless to stop them from fully infiltrating Earth. Hearing this, even Baek Yu-hyan felt a jolt of alarm. He's absolutely right. These disguised entities would hide among the populace, actively manipulating events in favor of the otherworld. They would plunge human society into absolute chaos, paving the exact way for a full-scale otherworld invasion to begin. And if the corporate alliance gets involved, those greedy bastards wouldn't hesitate for a second to join forces with the invaders for their own personal gain. Kim Cheol let out a heavy sigh. Anyway, thanks to you, we managed to prevent the situation from deteriorating further. Although we still need to conduct a much deeper investigation, you really did excellent work today. With that, he handed Baek Yu-hyan a beautifully crafted box. Because of that, you are now fully qualified to possess this. Baek Yu-hyan opened the box and looked inside. This is? The moment he stepped out of the chief's office, a sweet voice immediately rang out from the hallway. Junior, long time no see. To his surprise, it was Lee Eugene and Kim Hana. The chat exploded with excitement once again. Eugene Nuna. Eugene Nuna. It's been way too long. Eugene Nuna. Haha. She is so incredibly cute. Did you need me for something? Lee Eugene explained with a bright smile. I came specifically to congratulate you. You just received your official agent badge from the team leader, right? When a trainee is officially promoted to a full-fledged agent, it is our bureau's tradition that their direct senior personally pins the badge on them. Baek Yu-hyan nodded. Ah, I see. At that moment, Kim Hana pointed at Lee Eugene and said, normally, it should be your direct senior Eugene pinning it on you. But since her hands are still injured, I'll be doing the honors instead. Lee Eugene just gave a silly, slightly embarrassed smile. Kim Hana then carefully pinned a shiny badge onto the collar of Baek Yu-hyan's jacket. Congratulations on officially becoming a full agent. Congrats, Junior. The viewers were drowning in pure envy. Bro has a beauty on each arm. I'm so fucking jealous. These two Ice Queens barely ever smile like that in the main storyline. Baek Yu-hyan expressed his sincere gratitude to both of them. Lee Eugene continued with earnest advice. Now that you're a full agent, you'll be granted a lot of new authorities. But right now, you only need to remember one of them. And that is the right to independent action. Kim Hana added from the side. It means you now have the highest authority to completely bypass the Bureau's complex procedures and directly execute missions on your own. Lee Eugene sighed. It's a pity you got the right to independent action so quickly. I've only done one mission with you, Junior. Kim Hana brutally interjected from the side. And you even got hurt during that mission and went down immediately. Lee Eugene quickly defended herself. Hey, that mission had special circumstances. Yeah, sure. Anyway, Even with the right to independent action, you don't need to go alone. You can call me anytime. I'll help too. Thanks, both of you. So Junior, how will you use your right to independent action? Just then, Young Nayeon called for a pause. The viewers complained. What the heck? At least give us a heads up, streamer. We were getting into it, and suddenly your voice scared us. Everyone was startled, right? Cha Sung-cheol had other schedules, so today's gameplay ends here, but a major announcement follows. Everyone recently saw the notice. Baek Yu-hyeon is about to recruit disciples via live stream, and the selection is about to start. It's named Starcore, a name personally chosen by Young Nayeon. The viewers laughed. You think Starcore is an actual name? Is her naming taste seriously this bad? The live stream name already reflects her terrible taste. Hurry up and show the participant list. Cha Sung-cheol joined the conversation. I heard there are a lot of applicants. Young Nayeon confirmed. Yes, the selection process is almost done. So everyone, please look forward to the upcoming live stream. 5 minutes before the Superstar Live broadcast, Baek Yu-hyeon and Young Nayeon discussed the flow. Can we proceed with this part like this? Yes, looks good. The floor was already full of participants, including some celebrities. The 100K subscriber YouTube creator Sword Life and newcomer streamer Julia. Clearly, they weren't selected based on audience count. A guy with a crew cut caught the boy-girl twins' attention. Hey sis, look, that's Blue Whale. Be Blue Whale? Blue Whale had once openly boasted on stream. Haha, Nuclear Body King? Honestly, he's not impressive enough to deserve all that hype yet. The boy-girl twins were instantly annoyed. Me coming here to sign up is already funny enough. Why pick a trolling hype chaser streamer? Maybe they picked him just to publicly teach him a lesson? Do you think the Nuclear Body King's character is as petty as yours? Young Nayeon glanced at the participant list and immediately lit up. Blue Whale, I finally caught you. It turned out she had selected him entirely on purpose. The live stream was about to begin, and everyone took their positions. 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hello everyone. I'm your commentator, Cha Sung-cheol. The viewers immediately noticed that the studio background was different today. Wait, is this the actual venue for the disciple selection? Young Nayeon explained. Just as we announced previously, today is the official disciple selection. That's why we've moved to this massive outdoor studio that can accommodate a large crowd. We currently have many participants standing by, so let's bring out the Nuclear Body King right away. Please welcome the Nuclear Body King. In the very next second, Baek Yu-hyeon teleported straight into the broadcast. Hello everyone, I am Baek Yu-hyeon. The viewers went absolutely wild seeing him. It's really the Nuclear Body King himself. We can finally interact with him, woohoo. That suit looks insanely sharp on him. Some even started shouting in the chat. Hurry up and take off that mask protecting your personal info. The participating players were also seeing Baek Yu-hyeon up close for the very first time. Oh my god, that guy is really the Nuclear Body King? Baek Yu-hyeon remained completely silent. He thought back to a private conversation he had with Young Nayeon earlier. Nayeon, did the chat ever mention any game content that strictly requires teammates to clear? Young Nayeon thought about it and replied, Teammates? You mean forming a party? Then that would have to be hunt battles. Hunt battles, much like Reverse Planet, were one of the two absolute core pillars of PvE content in the game. Unlike Reverse Planet, hunt battles only required you to defeat a single, immensely powerful entity. However, because you had to solve specific combat mechanics, it was absolutely mandatory to form a party. Plus, you could only claim the rewards once a week. Baek Yu-hyeon silently pondered this. Hunt battles, huh? He looked out at the crowd below and spoke. As you all know, I am here today to select disciples. Once you become my disciple, you must follow my teachings with absolute obedience. If you don't have the confidence to do that, you are free to leave right now. Furthermore, even if you pass the selection, if you refuse to follow my instructions, you can and will be eliminated at any time. A girl in the crowd gasped in shock upon hearing this. Eliminated? The viewers completely agreed with this approach. If they just want to leech off his clout, they should at least put in some real effort. Baek Yu-hyeon continued. As long as you have the genuine willingness to learn, I guarantee that I can carry you to at least a master rank. Blue Whale immediately voiced his doubts. But aren't you just sitting at master rank yourself right now? I think you need to prove your own actual skill to us first. Baek Yu-hyeon actually found his proposal quite reasonable. Fine, let's do this then. I will take on all 12 of you here in a 1 versus 12 duel. If you manage to land even a single effective strike on me within 10 minutes, I will consider it your victory. If you fail to do so, the victory is mine. Young Nayeon was completely caught off guard. I can't believe Baek Yu-hyeon just declared that without even consulting me. Cha Sung-cheol was equally shocked. Landing just one single strike means they win? Someone in the crowd quickly raised a question. Does that mean anyone who successfully lands an effective strike is exempt from the rest of the selection and passes immediately? But without any restrictions placed on him, that has to be absolutely impossible to achieve, right? Baek Yu-hyan seemed to read their minds and added, I will not step a single foot outside of this drawn circle, nor will I be the first to initiate an attack. The chat completely exploded. Isn't Baek Yu-hyan underestimating them way too much? But honestly, if it's the nuclear body king, I'll allow it. If he actually gets hit by them, it's going to go down in history as a legendary joke. The boy-girl twins immediately raised their hands. Are we allowed to team up and attack you together? Baek Yu-hyan's answer was simple and resolute. Allowed. Feel free to use your abilities or weapons as you see fit. His expression then shifted into one of deadly seriousness. Then let the duel begin. Blue Whale sneered, thinking Baek Yu-hyan was just putting on a tough act. Let's see just how long you can actually last. The moment the words left his mouth, he instantly activated his flame ability. The others hadn't expected him to just attack without warning. What the hell? Blue Whale's attack looked incredibly fierce, but Baek Yu-hyan merely tilted his head slightly and effortlessly dodged it. A loud explosion immediately echoed from the ground right behind him. Blue Whale stared at the scene in absolute disbelief. How is that possible? He dodged my flame spear that easily? The viewers instantly gave him the answer. Because he's a micro-control god, you idiot. Micro-control god? Honestly, that little dodge wasn't even impressive enough to warrant all this hype. Baek Yu-hyan casually scratched the back of his head. We don't have much time. All of you can come to me at once. The participants were visibly shaken by his words. But in the very next second, they all unleashed their respective abilities and charged at Baek Yu-hyan simultaneously. Baek Yu-hyan instantly entered the perfect existence state. Before the players could even comprehend how Baek Yu-hyan was moving, they were all sent crashing violently to the ground, crying out in pain. What the hell? Our attacks aren't working on him at all. A woman groaned, holding her throbbing head. I tried to get closer to him, but I realized I couldn't even manage to step within range. At that moment, the boy-girl twins stepped forward. Don't give up just yet, everyone. From here on out, just leave it to us. The siblings, Young Arium and Young Dawoon, immediately launched a coordinated pincer attack on Baek Yu-hyan from two different directions. The sister aimed for his lower body, while the brother attacked from above. Their tactical coordination was flawless. Unfortunately for them, their opponent was Baek Yu-hyan. The very instant they closed the distance, Baek Yu-hyan snatched both of them out of the air, and in the very next second, they were sent flying backward at a speed several times faster than their initial charge. Wait, he actually threw all of them out? This is basically the world's most extreme amusement park ride. The viewers commented enthusiastically. Not gonna lie, that actually looks incredibly fun. The boy-girl twins were left completely dizzy and disoriented from the impact. And with that, the 10-minute time limit officially ran out. Not a single person present had managed to succeed. Baek Yu-hyan successfully defended his ground. Even with 12 people ganging up on him, they still couldn't secure a win. Well, to be fair, they're just bronze, silver, and gold tier players. Still, the fact that 12 people couldn't even force him to take a single step outside that circle is genuinely shocking. Baek Yu-hyan looked down at them from his absolute high ground. This should be more than enough to prove my personal strength. Does anyone still have any objections? The crowd collectively shook their heads. They absolutely did not want to step up and embarrass themselves again. Baek Yu-hyan then continued. Of course, this only proves my individual combat capabilities. As for my ability to teach, I will gradually prove that to all of you in the days to come. I now announce that the Supernova Will of the Nuke Disciple Selection event officially begins. After saying that, Baek Yu-hyan let out a long, heavy sigh. Cha Song-cheol also put on his serious commentator face. Alright, the Disciple Selection Tournament has finally officially begun. Nayeon, what exactly is the very first evaluation task? The first task is supernatural control without any system assistance. The specific objective of the task is to use a designated build to lift a 150-kilogram barbell and hold it steady for exactly 3 minutes. It's a very simple task, really. Assuming, of course, that you can do it completely without the system's aim assist or bodily corrections. The viewers instantly lost their minds. Simple? What the hell is up with the difficulty spike on the very first task? Just using your abilities without system assistance is already incredibly difficult, but they have to maintain it for 3 whole minutes? What kind of build are they even using for this? Cha Song-cheol stepped in to explain. The build assigned for this specific task is from the body enhancement category. Even without system assistance, it's considered one of the relatively easier ones to grasp. While it doesn't even come close to the perfect existence state, it still provides a decent boost to physical stamina and muscle strength. Young Nayeon quickly chimed in. Exactly. Song Cheol and I actually playtested it beforehand, and we somehow managed to succeed without even knowing what we were doing. However, looking at the photos shown on the broadcast, Young Nayeon was lifting the weight effortlessly, while Cha Song Cheol looked like he was literally dying. She had absolutely crushed him in terms of physical stamina. The viewers completely agreed with the logic. Since the streamers playtested it themselves, we really can't complain. But wait, that's entirely missing the point. Look at the photo. Cha Song Cheol's soul is literally leaving his body. Am I the only one seeing that ghost-like thing floating behind him? Is this a cursed paranormal photo or something? Alright then, who wants to step up and challenge it next? Challengers, please switch your system windows to visible mode. Alright, before we officially start the timer, does anyone have any questions? The boy-girl twins instantly raised their hands. Is there any specific benefit to finishing first? And is there a penalty for finishing last? The viewers found it incredibly amusing that the twins asked the exact same question, taking turns speaking one sentence at a time. It felt almost magical to watch. Points will be distributed in a descending ladder format based on your clear time. The faster you succeed, the greater your advantage. This is crucial because after the second task concludes, the 4 participants with the lowest total scores will be immediately eliminated. What? There are eliminations? And they're dropping 4 people right off the bat? Young Nayeon quickly added. However, even if you fail, you are allowed to attempt it again. So please don't let the pressure get to you. Keep in mind that the time limit for this first task is 30 minutes, and that includes your practice time. Now then, start the clock. 5 minutes later, every single participant was trembling like a leaf in the wind, pouring their absolute focus into desperately practicing the technique. At that moment, a viewer named Mint Chocolate donated 1,000 won and left a message. Who do you guys think is going to be the first one to clear this? Cha Song Cheol turned to look at his 2 co-hosts. What are your predictions? Baek Yu-hyan believed it would be Young Aurium and Young Dawoon, the boy-girl twins. Young Nayeon countered with her own guess. Wouldn't it be Sword Life? The viewers immediately joined the debate. Those 3 exclusively play melee-focused builds. Melee builds inherently come with a certain degree of passive body enhancement, so they should already be highly familiar with the mechanics of this task. Seeing that comment in the chat, Young Nayeon suddenly realized the flaw in their design. Wait a minute, then isn't this test completely unfair to the players who specialize in range builds? The viewers instantly started stirring up drama in the chat. Yeah, exactly. Why are you guys giving special treatment to melee players while completely discriminating against ranged ability users? Does being melee naturally make you superior to ranged? If that's the case, why did you even bother inviting ranged ability users to the selection in the first place? This show is completely biased. Young Nayeon's heart dropped, realizing things were taking a turn for the worse. Oh no, the public sentiment is turning on us. The public opinion is going to snowball into a complete disaster at this rate. Young Nayeon immediately jumped in to clarify. I'm not discriminating against ranged ability users, and I'm definitely not just looking for melee players to be disciples. The second task is specifically designed to favor ranged builds. That's exactly why the eliminations will only happen after the second task is over. I get it now. One round favors melee, the other favors ranged. That actually makes sense. Young Nayeon let out a stressed laugh. Yes, I know. Everyone just calm down for a second. So then who wants to be the first to step up and challenge it? 3 people stepped forward immediately. Just as the viewers guessed, it was the boy-girl twins, Young Aurium and Young Dawoon, along with Sword Life. Alright then, ready and go. The expressions on the 3 of their faces were absolutely priceless right now. Clear on the first try, let's go. The twins will definitely pass. I'm putting my trust in Sword Life. A minute in, the twins actually had the spare energy to start bickering. Hey sis, maybe we should just give up now? Sorry to disappoint, but your big sister isn't going to give up that easily. The 1525th sibling war had broken out once again. The fact that they still had the breath to argue showed they were clearly handling it with ease. 2 minutes in, Sword Life's face was completely flushed red. The viewers immediately started cheering him on in the chat. But unfortunately, Sword Life was eliminated right at the 2-minute and 50-second mark. It seemed a momentary lapse in focus caused him to fail. Right as Young Nayeon and the others were talking, the twins successfully broke past the 3-minute mark. Congratulations! The first pair of qualifiers has been born. The twins immediately jumped up in pure excitement upon hearing the announcement. As expected, the twins were the first ones to clear it. They were handpicked by the Nuclear Body King himself. After all, Naturally, Sword Life insisted on trying again right away, and Cha Sung-cheol approved it. Sword Life began his second attempt to clear the task. It looked like he was going to succeed this time. Down in the crowd, Blue Whale was growing incredibly anxious. Damn it, there aren't many spots left. If I don't make it into the top 6 this round, I'm basically eliminated. His face looked terrible. He had been riding the Nuclear Body King's clout to hype himself up. If he couldn't even make it to the semifinals, it would be an absolute humiliation. He needed to figure something out fast. It looked like he had no choice but to play dirty. Right at that moment, Young Nayeon announced the birth of the 4th qualifier. Blue Whale smirked to himself. Perfect. Everyone's attention is focused over there right now. Now's my chance. Young Nayeon turned back to the crowd. All right, who is the next challenger? Blue Whale's voice rang out from the crowd. Haha, so this is what it feels like. Young Nayeon looked over at him. Are you going to challenge it? That's right, I'm stepping up. In that case, please switch your system window to visible mode and make your way up to the stage. Blue Whale made his system window visible and slowly swaggered onto the stage. He then firmly gripped the heavy barbell with both hands. The timer starts now. He put on a convincing show of giving it his absolute all. Even though sweat was pouring down his face, he was secretly gloating inside. Perfect execution. The viewers were genuinely amazed. Blue Whale actually broke the 2-minute mark on his very first try. Is this guy some kind of natural prodigy too? I thought he was just a clout-chasing clown, but I guess he actually has some real skills. Honestly, he's holding out way longer than I expected. But the look in Baek Yu-hyan's eyes as he watched him was growing increasingly sharp. By now, Blue Whale had held on for the full 3 minutes, and Young Nayeon loudly announced his success. Congratulations! Please proceed to the certification desk too, but before she could finish her sentence, she was coldly interrupted by Baek Yu-hyan. Hold on a second. Baek Yu-hyan walked straight toward Blue Whale. What exactly do you think you're doing right now? Blue Whale immediately panicked. Are you talking to me? The viewers were also completely confused about what was going on. What's up with this heavy atmosphere suddenly? Is the Nuclear Body King pissed? Baek Yu-hyan spoke in a dead serious tone oh, you honestly think I can't tell that you have your system assistants turned on right now? Young Nayeon hurriedly asked him to pause. System assistants? What do you mean by that? The chat completely blew up. Blue Whale is using cheats. What are you talking about? His system window clearly says assistance at 0%. Looks like the Nuclear Body King made a mistake this time. But sharp-eyed viewers quickly noticed the discrepancy. Hey, look closely at his system window. The image looks a bit blurry, almost like a pasted picture. Young Nayeon turned to Baek Yu-hyan. Yu-hyan, why do you think Blue Whale is using system assistance? Baek Yu-hyan immediately provided a highly technical explanation. From the way he walked up here, down to the exact posture he used to hold the barbell, there are distinct traces of micro-adjustments that only the system assistants can make. Without the system intervening, a human body's movements would never constantly deviate from their natural trajectory like that. Some viewers were still skeptical. Can he really sense that just by looking? Is he just blowing smoke? What the hell? How exactly does he judge whether someone is using system assistance or not? Young Nayeon quietly whispered to him again. Are you absolutely sure about this? If you don't have solid proof, the public backlash is going to ruin you. Baek Yu-hyan replied with unwavering certainty, I am absolutely sure. Aside from that, can I see your real system assistance? Blue Whale's expression instantly turned incredibly ugly. Isn't the system assistance panel sitting right there? And what if it's not what you think it is? You aren't planning to just walk away with a half-assed verbal apology, are you? Before he could even finish, Baek Yu-hyan coldly cut him off. If I'm wrong, I will publicly apologize and quit streaming forever. If that's not enough, I will hand over every single cent I've earned up until now. Did I ask that fair enough for you? Now then, please adjust this system assistance panel and prove it to me. Hearing this, Blue Whale found himself backed into a corner. The IT was clear his cover was blown, and the sheer humiliation made him furious. All right, I'll adjust the damn thing. But in the very next second, Blue Whale started playing dumb. Why isn't it working? Is it frozen? Baek Yu-hyan was completely speechless at the pathetically bad acting. Time is up. Mr. Blue Whale, you are officially eliminated. The chat instantly switched sides. Wow, so he really was pulling a dirty trick. Bro, are you kidding me? I actually believed in you earlier. You went through all that trouble just to pull this cheap stunt. Whale bro, you're absolutely pathetic. Blue Whale felt like he had completely lost all of his dignity. Just before forcefully logging off, he shamelessly threw out one last desperate threat. I'm gonna love seeing just how far this trash stream of yours will actually go. The viewers thought he was absolute trash, that he struggled right until the very end, and then ran away like a coward. Is this the average standard for cheating players? Wow, but how the hell did the Nuclear Body King actually know? I am so sorry for doubting you earlier, boss. Young Na-yun coughed awkwardly twice to clear the air. We had a minor disturbance just now, but let's keep moving forward. Who is the next challenger? Right then, a girl slowly raised her hand that I'll challenge it. And so, the selection process forged ahead amidst the chaotic atmosphere. Just as everyone expected, the second task ended with the range build players completely dominating the top rankings. Those who were eliminated were incredibly polite about it. It's a real shame to be eliminated this early, but I'll keep cheering for your stream anyway. Young Na-yun and the others responded with equal politeness. You all worked hard. The second round concluded, and Cha Sung-cheol took over hosting the event. Alright, with that out of the way, the individual tasks have all officially come to an end. Next up is the team battle, right? Young Na-yun quickly added, that's right. After the 4v4 team battle concludes, the winning team will be split into two groups once more for the final showdown. In other words, there will only be two qualified winners in total at the very end. That we've taken the individual rankings into account and balanced the players out, splitting them evenly into Team A and Team B. The chat instantly fired up with discussions again. Wait, is this a range versus melee setup? Team B only has Hyria as their sole range player. That team comp looks awkward as hell, of course. Others were just focused on how cute Hyria was. Right then, a viewer named Kanodi Yoga donated 5,001 with a message that, oh, what exactly is this team task anyway? Young Na-yun gave a knowing chuckle. For the Nuclear Body King's disciple selection, the highly anticipated first team task is 2 mid-level Edenels will spawn every single minute in the open area you are currently standing in. This is a pure DPS check. Whichever team kills the most monsters within a strict 10-minute time limit wins the match. By the way, stepping completely out of your team's designated zone will result in instant elimination. Each team will be given 2 attempts, and will take your highest score as your final result. You are free to use whatever abilities and builds you want, but all stat attributes will be forcibly normalized to 60%. Now then, let the challenge begin. The moment she finished speaking, 2 Edenels instantly spawned into the arena. The results of the first attempt were soon in. Team A secured 10 kills, while Team B only managed 8. Team A is currently holding a slight lead. Cha Sung-cheol shared his professional analysis. When it comes to team composition, range classes inherently hold the advantage here. With enemies spawning in a predictable sequence, range players can easily focus their fire from a safe distance and pick them off one by one. But for melee classes, if they fail to burst down their targets quickly, the enemies will just keep piling up. It's incredibly easy for them to get swarmed, and trying to pull off coordinated combo attacks in that chaos is extremely difficult. The viewers immediately split into 2 arguing factions that he's not wrong. When it comes to coordinated attacks, range DPS is just way more reliable. Melee classes really don't synergize well with each other. Some players felt this was blatant discrimination against melee users that was literally just stating an objective fact. How is that discrimination? Hyria felt terribly guilty, thinking she was dragging the whole team down. What should we do now? It feels like it's going to be impossible to turn this around in the second round. Young Do-woon rubbed his chin thoughtfully. How about we go ask the boss for some coaching? Sword Life suddenly realized the opportunity. Coaching. That's actually a brilliant idea. If our score improves after he coaches us, the Nuclear Body King gets to prove his teaching abilities too. Exactly. Hearing this, Young Ariam immediately bolted toward the judges. Let's go talk to the judges about it right now. Young Na-yun thought the proposal was actually pretty solid. However, just to keep things fair and balanced, Cha Sung-cheol and I will step in to act as the exclusive coaches for Team A. The viewers found this new development incredibly entertaining. Wait, the judges are actually stepping into the ring to coach. Does that mean if a team gets eliminated, their coaches get eliminated and shamed too? Cha Sung-cheol was fully on board with the idea in exclusive coach system. Now that sounds interesting. Baek Yu-hyun calmly replied, as long as Team A is fine with it, I have no objections. Team A immediately huddled up to discuss the proposition. Some members of Team A felt it was a missed opportunity. That wouldn't it be better if we just accepted the Nuclear Body King's coaching too? However, others strongly disagreed. The boss is a pure melee player. When it comes to coaching a range-heavy team, Mr. Cha Sung-cheol is probably way more qualified. I agree with Daewon Hero on this one. And honestly, how much can we really improve in just 30 minutes anyway? Exactly, as long as we play it safe and maintain our current lead, the victory is basically in the bag. Team A immediately agreed to the arrangement. Young Na-yun then loudly announced, "Thank you, everyone. The task will officially begin after a 30-minute coaching session." Baek Yu-hyun officially began his instruction to effectively defeat the Edenels. you first need to thoroughly understand their behavioral traits. Unlike humans, Edenels have absolutely no fear of being injured. As long as they calculate that the damage they can inflict on you is greater than the damage they will take, they will completely abandon their defense and attack without a second thought. Once you understand that specific judgment criteria and learn how to exploit it, you can perfectly predict an Edenel's every move. The viewers found this information incredibly hardcore and useful. Is this an introduction to Edenel psychology class? Right then, Baek Yuhyan shifted into a combat-ready stance. Alright, let's start with a simulated combat drill. Please treat me as a mid-level Edenel and attack me with intent to kill. The players were instantly startled. What's going on? His entire aura just completely changed. I know this is a simulation, but this feels way too terrifyingly realistic. Sword Life tightly gripped the hilt of his weapon. With a sharp crack, he swung his heavy sword forward. Baek Yuhyan immediately acted as if he were possessed by an Edenel, grabbing the blade of the longsword barehanded as if he felt absolutely no pain. Then, with a single swift kick, he sent Sword Life flying through the air like a human cannonball, ending with Sword Life violently kissing the dirt. The boy-girl twins exchanged a quick glance. Let's attack together. I'll take the left. The siblings then charged at Baek Yuhyan, screaming at the top of their lungs. Only Hyria remained frozen in place. What should I do? If my aim is off, I'm definitely going to hit my teammates. Young Arium's charge was immediately met with a clean, devastating kick, and Young Dawoon was greeted with a solid punch straight to the gut. The siblings couldn't even last a single round, getting slammed into the ground and seeing stars. Baek Yuhyan delivered his sharp evaluation. Just as I thought. Aside from the twins having a tiny bit of synergy, the rest of you have absolutely zero teamwork whatsoever. He now had a clear direction for his coaching. Alright, let's start from the very basics of team coordination. Watching this absolute massacre from the sidelines, Team A couldn't help but think Baek Yuhyan was just way too overpowered. Some viewers found the scene funny. Why are the Team A guys just standing over there watching? Are you kidding? If I were there, I'd be watching too. This is incredibly entertaining. How could anyone look away? Cha Sung-cheol turned to look at Team A. Please stop spectating now. That particular tactic will only work for Team B anyway, since they have a lot of melee classes. The two Team A members jumped in surprise. We're so sorry. Young Na-yeon stepped in. Exactly. We just need to practice using our own methods, and that will be enough. Now, let's confirm everyone's class builds first. 15 minutes flew by, and the members of Team B were brimming with confidence that I'm going in to challenge it now. Go for it. Good luck. Young Na-yeon immediately announced. Alright, Team B, please get ready. Following her words, two Edenels radiating a dangerous aura spawned into the arena. The challenge begins now. Young Arium took the lead and threw a heavy punch. Interestingly, her movements actually carried a faint shadow of Baek Yuhyan's fighting style. Just as the Edenel threw a counterpunch, Baek Yuhyan shouted a reminder from the sidelines. Always be ready for the counterattack. The siblings' coordination was incredibly seamless, their attacks landing flawlessly on the Edenel. Next up was Sword Life. Now's the chance. Finish it off. With a massive swing of his greatsword, the Edenel was cleanly cleaved in half. Hyria felt like she was a bit useless in the formation. What exactly am I supposed to be doing here? But Baek Yuhyan had already given her specific instructions beforehand. The absolute key to Team B's coordination lies entirely with you, the sole range class on the team. Miss Hyria, if you hesitate out of fear of hitting your teammates, you will miss the perfect window of opportunity. You must attack decisively. Just then, another Edenel suddenly spawned right behind Sword Life. He flinched in shock, realizing that turning around to counterattack now would be too late. And that was when Hyria finally made her move. She shouted at the top of her lungs, "Ice Spear!" The moment the words left her mouth, a sharp ice spear blasted the Edenel into frozen shards. The viewers went absolutely crazy cheering for her in the chat. Yes, that's the exact feel we want. Seriously, that range support was incredible. That's our Hyria, charged straight for the championship. That single strike completely restored Hyria's confidence that I will protect everyone's backs. Please don't worry about me, and just keep fighting. Sword Life even turned around and gave her a big thumbs up. Beautifully done, Miss Hyria. Even Cha Sung-cheol and Young Na-yeon were completely stunned. What an incredible kill speed. It's like watching a completely different team from before. What the hell happened during those 30 minutes? Are they actually going to pull off a massive comeback? 3 minutes quickly passed on the timer, and Young Dawoon smashed another Edenel to pieces with a punch. Team B had already secured a total of 14 kills. The viewers were losing their minds. 14 kills. That's insane. They actually turned the tables. Is the Nuclear Body King's special training really this effective? He only coached them for 30 minutes. I never expected them to improve their record by this ridiculous margin. Cha Song-cheol couldn't help but marvel that it seems the Nuclear Body King's ability to teach has been fully proven here today. Seeing this, Young Na-yeon quickly tried to boost her own team's morale. Team A, don't let their performance shake you up. We just need to stick to our own pace and we'll be fine. Team A was also full of confidence. That's right, let's go. Take them all down. But in their second challenge, Team A defeated 12 Ednals. Young Na-yeon opened her mouth. So now, the highest records for each team are Team A with 12, Team B with 14, therefore, the result of the team task is Team B's victory. Team B immediately cheered. We won. But behind the cheers, they were now going to battle each other. Team A felt regretful. We thought we could win easily, but in the end, we lost focus and made a mistake. Netizens thought Team A played really well, but Team B was too strong. Honestly, defeating 12 Ednals is already impressive. Point 14 is insane, but at least they made it to the top 8. Let's go have a drink. Members of Team A regretted, but it's a little unfortunate to leave like this. Given Huria's performance in the second round, Nuclear Body King must be able to provide some advice for ranged characters. Just then, Purple Hair walked out. Excuse me, could you give each of us one piece of advice before we leave? Bai Yuxian didn't expect them to make this request, but it seemed they were all thirsty for knowledge, and he couldn't let them leave with regrets. He immediately agreed. First, Daewon Hero's Flame Mage configuration is strong for a powerful single strike, right? To maximize this effect, Daewon Hero quickly understood. I get what you mean. Netizens felt they had learned something. What? His advice for range combat is also spot on. He's like a god. Then Young Na-yeon bowed to send them off. Thank you for your participation so far. They politely responded. It's been a great experience. See you again if we have a chance. All right, now only the finals are left. The final task is a 2v2 team battle. Add some flair to the finale. We've prepared a special task. That is the PvP survival competition, a game where the team that survives the longest in PvP mode wins. Haha, it seems the teams are already set. Jiansheng GNC partners with Huria, a team with both defense and offense. The other pair is the twins. After all, they have over a decade of tacit understanding. Now let's move on. This is where Dad is an Alien, sponsored 1000 Korean won. Let's start the fight now. At this moment, in a high-end gym, today's individual training has come to an end. Jiang Silla had already exhausted herself. Then she was shocked because Bai Yuxian's disciple selection results were already out. On the Reversal Planet forum, the news of Zheng Yaolin and Zheng Thuyan's twin victory was posted. Jiansheng GNC and Huria also performed well. Jiang Silla had already guessed it. As expected, it was those twins. I'll take a closer look when I get home. Speaking of which, I really didn't expect Bai Yuxian to appear as a coach. Official coaches have the right to choose teams. Jiang Silla fantasized. Will he choose the team I'm on? After all, we do know each other. The more she thought about it, the more likely it seemed. It looks like we'll be streaming together again soon. A new day came, and she was happy to see everyone. Glad to see you all. Thanks for coming today. Netizens were still very engaged. Hey, where did we leave off in PV last time? Seriously, because Supergiant had been on a break for days, I totally forgot, haha. Young Na-yeon immediately cut to a screen. So, Junior, what do you plan to do with your solo battle rights? Last time in PV, it ended here. So let's hear the Master's answer right away. What exactly is the Master's choice? I plan to go solo to conquer Reversal Planet. Kim Min-na thought he was too hard-working. With your strength, Junior, there shouldn't be any big problems. But Li Yuzhen still felt a little worried. Then she quietly came to Bai Yuxian's ear and whispered, I have something to explain. Please check your messages before departure. It's a little inconvenient to say it here. Bai Yuxian nodded. Kim Hina stood aside, confused. Bai Yuxian had just stepped out when he received a message. Do you remember those guys who attacked me and Junior last time? Choi Hyeon-chul and the other two? You probably know them by now. At that time, their target wasn't me, but Junior, IT seems the company has plans for Junior, and they might attack again at any time. But they probably know we're prepared, so they won't act rashly. That I've also placed our people inside the company. So if there's any sign of trouble, I'll get the message immediately. There's also a list suitable for solo entry into Reverse Planet. The content is about the same as this. Young Na-yeon grew uneasy. This attack flag is way too obvious, isn't it? Looks like the Hound will be showing up again soon. But some viewers thought they were overreacting. Honestly, if they didn't show up after all this, that would be the real plot twist. The whole just-in-case thing means it's definitely going to happen. No mistake there. Just then, a suited agent appeared. Mr. Baek Yu-hyun. I am Young Ji-hoon from the support assistance team. I heard you were heading out for a solo mission, so I will ensure you are safely and comfortably delivered to your destination. Baek Yu-hyun responded nonchalantly. All right. The viewers thought that the presence of a formal agent really hit different. Soon after, Baek Yu-hyun arrived at his destination. The car that dropped him off quickly turned and left, as if terrified something bad might happen. Baek Yu-hyun looked at the teleportation portal right in front of him. Thinking about the message Lee Eugene had sent, Baek Yu-hyun became puzzled. They shouldn't be the hidden guards. It turned out he was already surrounded at that moment. A red-haired individual had already activated his archery ability, and several others were hiding in different spots. There were 6 of them in total. They thought they were perfectly hidden, completely unaware that Baek Yu-hyun had noticed them the exact second he arrived. Then the attackers launched their coordinated assault. Baek Yu-hyun instantly entered the perfect existence state. Dodging the incoming strikes, he charged out with his two-handed sword. He appeared directly above one of the attackers in a flash. This caught the man completely off guard. But in the very next second, another man clenched his fist and launched a sneak attack on Baek Yu-hyun. The force of the blow sent Baek Yu-hyun flying backward. However, all the actual damage was completely blocked by Baek Yu-hyun's heavy, two-handed sword. Seeing that their cover was entirely blown, they all stepped out into the open. Damn it, your senses are even sharper than I anticipated. They then flashed sinister grins. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, Mr. Baek Yu-hyun. Or perhaps I should call you Experiment Subject 48. Hearing this, Baek Yu-hyun coldly asked, "Are you bastard from the Corporate Alliance?" Being directly called out, the man didn't panic at all, but instead praised him. "Your insight is quite impressive. That I'll keep this short then. Please come back to the Research Institute with us." Baek Yu-hyun thought he had misheard him. What the hell? The man continued, "I suppose I was too blunt. But I assure you, from now on, we will help you fully develop your abilities through proper, official experiments." Baek Yu-hyun was absolutely furious. "Bullshit. Stop feeding me that absolute crap." As the words fell, the man let out a helpless sigh. What a shame to think this would be your answer. Realizing negotiations had failed, the man instantly dropped his friendly facade. "You will bear the full consequences of the choice you just made, Experiment Subject 48. He immediately issued a ruthless command. "Capture him." The other 5 attackers unleashed their full firepower upon hearing the order. Another heavy punch brutally slammed into Baek Yu-hyun's two-handed sword. But Baek Yu-hyun effortlessly sent him flying with a single swing. Yet another attacker lunged at him from his blind spot. It seemed they had truly pulled out all the stops to take him down. Baek Yu-hyun was already waiting for him. In his perfect existence state, he moved like a cold, ruthless killing machine. In the very next second, the massive two-handed sword slammed directly into the attacker's skull, instantly drawing blood and cracking his head open. But the man commanding them acted as if he hadn't even seen the gruesome scene, shouting instead, "Don't panic. Keep attacking him." Hearing this, the others swarmed toward Baek Yu-hyun again with a reckless disregard for their own lives. A barrage of deadly abilities rained down on Baek Yu-hyun from all sides. Baek Yu-hyun simply stood his ground calmly, breaking through all of them with a single sword. Young Neon wasn't worried in the slightest. Instead, she offered an enthusiastic commentary as expected from the highly trained hounds. Their coordination is absolutely flawless. Unfortunately for them, it's still completely insufficient against the Nuclear Body King. Cha Sung-cheol chimed in. "That goes without saying. The Nuclear Body King has leveled up quite a bit recently. After all, the viewers eagerly joined the discussion that if they want to capture the Nuclear Body King, they need to send at least a Hellhound-level threat." Another viewer quickly countered. "Even a Hellhound wouldn't stand a chance. It'd get one shot just the same." Damn it. How dare he do this to our comrade? "Captain, what do we do now? We have no other choice. Everyone, take the TL-01. Young Nayan gasped in surprise. TL-01. "This is my first time ever hearing that name. Mr. Sung-cheol. Do you know what it is?" Cha Sung-cheol replied. "That's my first time hearing it too. I just ran a quick search on the Hypernet, and there is absolutely zero information on it." In other words, this is just setting the stage for the Nuclear Body King to completely show off and carry the whole scene again. The viewers were losing their minds. This isn't the Reverse Planet storyline we know anymore. The overseas community forums are going to absolutely explode again today. Ha ha ha. The leading man roared in sheer frustration. Think you forced us to use this trump card. You're going to regret this. It was also Baek Yu-hyun's first time hearing the term TL-01. Even a research lab back in that world never mentioned something like this. I guess I'll just wait and see what it does first. The man then directly tossed a bizarre-looking pill straight into his mouth. In the very next second, his entire aura shifted drastically. It felt like his power had spiked by more than just a single tier compared to his original abilities. Moreover, their eyes turned an eerie, glowing purple. Just from their outward appearance, they looked more like a pack of emotionless monsters now. Baek Yuhyan's pupils widened in shock. What is this? Every single one of their bodies began to swell and multiply in size, their muscles bulging to the point where their clothes were tearing at the seams. Young Nayeon was horrified at the sight. Everyone. Doesn't this distinct feeling seem eerily similar to a dimensional invader? The viewers were also completely stunned. That eerie color definitely makes you immediately think of the invaders. What in the world is going on? For monsters with the power of invaders. This is actually getting really tricky now. The chat began to genuinely worry for Baek Yuhyan. Baek Yuhyan tightened his grip on his sword, fully preparing for battle. It seems this isn't just an ordinary combat stimulant. The opponent then threw out a ruthless threat. Now then, prepare yourself for death. Immediately, several of them madly charged toward Baek Yuhyan. The leader's fist was charged with extremely powerful purple lightning. Fortunately, Baek Yuhyan dodged just in time, and the ground was completely shattered into pieces. What the hell? Taking a single pill turns them into this. It feels like their powers are more than just a single tier above what they used to be. Baek Yuhyan could sense it too. Their strength was on a completely different level now. In the very next second, a red-haired individual using fire abilities violently hurled a fire lance. Baek Yuhyan swiftly unleashed several sword slashes. But he still barely avoided being grazed by the fire lance. He was fully locked in a bitter struggle now. Young Nayeon grew increasingly worried that I didn't expect a single dose of medicine to cause such a drastic change. Will he be able to break through this situation? Cha Sung-chul analyzed the scene. It's hard to say that if it was just a pure enhancement of their abilities, that would be one thing. But the Hound's attitude is incredibly strange. They act like they've completely lost all their emotions, entirely different from before. The blonde man had already crept up silently behind Baek Yuhyan. He lunged forward with his sword, and Baek Yuhyan was sent blasting backward. Cha Sung-chul gasped in shock. This is almost as if the sheer impact of the blow left Baek Yuhyan's hands trembling. Seriously. Cha Sung-chul finally noticed the bizarre detail that don't you guys think they look like they're being controlled by something? These guys are acting like living puppets right now. Baek Yuhyan had also realized that it wasn't just that their power had increased, that it was as if they had lost their sense of self. Their entire being had changed, almost exactly like dimensional invaders. It looks like I need to eliminate them as quickly as possible, and then investigate this thoroughly. Baek Yuhyan leaped high into the air, and the red-haired man immediately unleashed a massive torrent of flames. Baek Yuhyan swung his sword down without a single shred of hesitation. Not only were the flames instantly cleaved in half, but the red-haired man was also completely bisected on the spot. In the very next second, Baek Yuhyan appeared right in front of their leader. The chat exploded. Wow, how is he so fast? That's terrifying. He just casually tore right through the fire. What kind of monster is he? Baek Yuhyan had fully entered his absolute combat state. Without hesitation, he swung his heavy sword down, shattering the guardian stone into dust in an instant. The leading man gritted his teeth and roared. Attack him. The remaining members launched a coordinated assault, manifesting various lethal abilities in their hands. Electric shocks, falling thunder, and wave cannons. Baek Yuhyan unleashed a sweeping strike, his powerful blade vortex colliding violently against the oncoming abilities. The net of sword aura sliced through, instantly shredding all of the offensive abilities into nothingness. The leader thought this was completely impossible, but what he failed to notice was that Baek Yuhyan had already appeared behind him like a phantom. With a heavy thud, the man collapsed face first on the ground. The rest of his companions had already been sent straight to the afterlife. Even after popping pills, they still couldn't beat the nuclear body king. I knew it. I've always believed in him. All of you who doubted him earlier, go face the wall and think about what you've done. Baek Yuhyan casually hoisted the enemy leader up by the collar. At this point, the horrifying side effects of the drug had fully manifested. The man had lost all of his vital energy, reduced to little more than skin and bones. Baek Yuhyan was just about to ask, "Hey, about that pill from earlier?" In the very next second, the man started bleeding from all 7 orifices on his face, mumbling in absolute disbelief. How could this be? This isn't the same drug as before. The moment the words left his mouth, the man completely lost all signs of life. Baek Yuhyan felt a tinge of regret. that he's dead. Oh, it wasn't originally supposed to be this drug. Does that mean the effects were deliberately altered? This is a drug that didn't even exist in the other world. I originally wanted to investigate it more. IT looks like I'll just have to scavenge around and see if I can find anything that serves as a clue. Staring at the few useless items scattered on the ground, Baek Yu-hyun frowned deeply. Forget about clues. There's barely anything useful here at all. Just then, Lee Eugene and Kim Hana finally arrived on the scene, incredibly late. Lee Eugene apologized awkwardly. "Junior, I'm so sorry. I arrived way too late." Kim Hana let out a heavy sigh. I really don't even know what to say anymore." Baek Yu-hyun calmly replied that it was fine. The viewers, however, had a lot to say about it. "Late to the scene again, officer?" Young Na-yeon gave a forced smile. "Well, arriving late has basically become standard procedure for the cops. But putting that aside, this single mission has dropped so much foreshadowing, from the corporate alliance trying to recruit him to the TL-01 drug. The overarching plot is gradually unfolding." The lore fans in the chat were going absolutely crazy over all these clues. The overseas viewers are also watching the Nuclear Body King stream and heavily theorizing about the future plot. Breaking news, hot threads are already trending on foreign forums speculating about TL-01. Baek Yu-hyun was slightly puzzled by their arrival. "But how did you guys know about this place?" And even senior Lee Eugene came along. Kim Hana explained. "Not long after you left, Junior, we received intel that the Hounds were planning to launch an ambush today. That IT came from the undercover agent we planted inside the corporate alliance. So I immediately contacted Agent Young Ji-hoon and asked him which reverse planet you were heading to. He actually gave me a completely opposite location. And right after that, he immediately handed in his resignation that I really didn't expect it. But it seems that guy was a spy planted by the corporate alliance. But I still managed to track down the dashcam GPS of the vehicle he used to escape, and that's how I traced it here. But it looks like you've already taken care of everything." Lee Eugene added that I apologize to you once again, Junior, that I will definitely find a way to make it up to you for this incident. Baek Yu-hyun really didn't mind. "There's no need for compensation. I understand the situation." Lee Eugene replied. "All right then, let's quickly clean this place up." The scene suddenly shifted, transitioning to a city street. The viewers had absolutely no idea where Baek Yu-hyun was heading now. Young Na-yeon and Cha Sung-cheol were equally confused. "Yeah, I honestly thought he was going to go report directly to director Kim Cheol." Cha Sung-cheol decided to just keep watching for now. Baek Yu-hyun walked down the street with a dark expression on his face that, if my hypothesis is correct, and Anonymous Viewer 62 is indeed the developer. Starting from the fully responsive AI, down to the development of the new system, the clone invaders, and even the TL-01 drug that not even the host had heard of. This would perfectly explain why the storyline continues to constantly shift and change based on my choices. And that will ultimately become the definitive clue to uncovering the secrets of Reverse Planet, and even the secrets of the world over there. I'll start by making an example out of the corporate alliance. It's about time I put them in their place anyway. He was then seen lightly tapping on the system pop-up window. Young Na-yeon was even more utterly confused. Why did he suddenly switch his build? Cha Sung-cheol was equally puzzled. Looking at the direction of his stat point allocation, it doesn't look like a melee build at all. The viewers were trembling with excitement. Are we finally going to see the highly anticipated second core element that's been kept hidden? Haha. But is the Nuclear Body King even good with range builds? We've literally never seen him use one nut, but considering how incredibly accurate his advice to range players was earlier, he should be completely fine. But why exactly did he switch? The chat just couldn't figure out. This was the terrifying build that Baek Yu-hyun had used in the other world, long before he was ever known as the Superman. Its name was Destruction. In an instant, his entire body was engulfed in furiously roaring purple-black flames. The viewers completely lost their minds on the spot. These flame visual effects are absolutely no joke. The IT looks so freaking cool. Baek Yu-hyun thought to himself. Even though I don't know exactly where the research lab that manufactures that drug is located, I do know of a company that has direct ties to them. I even raided the place back when I was in that world. Kim Shin Electronics. IT seems that's definitely the only possible place to start.